You're listening to The Zone, ESPN Radio, 1600 AM, Cedar Rapids.
We now leave our network programming to bring you the following special sports presentation.
The history, the tradition, the fun of Kernels baseball.
It's time for exciting live coverage of Kernels baseball, right here on the Kernels Radio Network. Now, the voice of the Kernels. In his 11th season, here's John Rogers.
We have a beautiful Thursday evening in which to finish up an 8-game homestand that has seen the Kernels sparkle go 5-2, including last night's thrilling 4-2 win here in Clinton, bolstered by 8 2/3 innings of 9 strikeout, 4-hit baseball from right-hander Stephen Merrick. Great defense and timely hitting. The Kernels won their 4th in a row and are edging up back towards the 500 mark. This is our road trip finale here in Clinton, and then we play 12 of our last 16 games of the first half at home, and the Kernels hope to make a run not only at the 500 mark, but at a possible first half playoff berth. Welcome to the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show, and for the 3rd time in a row, it's our pleasure and honor to welcome a former Midwest League pitcher, now a scout for the team that sets the gold standard in all of baseball, the Atlanta Braves. We're talking about Gerard Klingscale. And Gerard, this being our 3rd time together in a row here from Clinton, I wanted you to be able to talk a little bit about the incredible achievement that the Braves had last year. 17 rookies were in Bobby Cox's clubhouse, and at one point in an interleague game on June 15th, this was the starting lineup for Atlanta. Pete Orr leading off DH, Marcus Giles second base, Kelly Johnson in left field, cleanup batter Adam LaRoche at first base, Andrew Jones in center, Ryan Langerhans in right, Andy Marte at third, Brian McCann catching, Wilson Vedemits at shortstop, Kyle Davies pitching. Now those are not a lot of household names, but that has to make you very proud. They were homegrown, and 5 of them were rookies.
Well, you said it, and what really stands out for me are the names of Marcus Giles and Adam LaRoche. Marcus Giles was I believe, a 45th round junior college draft and file that we had, and Adam LaRoche was actually a pitcher converted to a first baseman that was like a 48th round draft choice out of a junior college in Oklahoma. And to me, that typifies, what we do as scouts. Everybody can find these guys in the diamonds, the guys that are top guys, but to do the due diligence and to find these guys in the 40th round, respectively, is unbelievable.
It is, and I want you to elaborate just a little more on that, Gerard, because these guys were not household names last year, and why did Atlanta have to go to so many of their homegrown talent and dip into that farm system in one season?
Well, every Major League General Manager goes into the offseason trying to better their club. Unfortunately, last year we had some key injuries, and we had to use our farm system a lot sooner than we wanted to. Luckily, those kids had not only the physical tools, but the mental makeup to go up there and make a contribution to our club. And again, that just shows how important it is not only to have the tools to play the game, but also the mental makeup.
And that's what I want to talk a little bit about. Some of our former Kernels haven't lit the world on fire. We're very proud that they've made it to Los Angeles this year. I'm talking about guys like Jeff Mathis, Casey Kochman, Dallas McPherson, Tommy Murphy, Mike Napoli, Eric Ibar, Howie Kendrick. These are guys that all played in Cedar Rapids, and we're proud that they've made it to Los Angeles. They haven't all been able to contribute immediately. Do you think that's a function of being overwhelmed by their first experience in the big leagues, not getting enough at-bats if they're position players, or that mental anguish that a kid must go through, Gerard?
Well, I wish I could speak from experience. Unfortunately, I make it to the big leagues, but just from my experience from talking to guys that have been there, it's a big adjustment there, and I think they have high expectations. All the guys you mentioned came up with a lot of fanfare, and I think that inherently those guys went there and wanted to really do well, and they put pressure on themselves. So I think that if they just go back down and just take their time and just kind of, it's no different from playing in Cedar Rapids to the big leagues, other than the guys are a lot better and they're more consistent. And I think once they realize that, they'll be just fine.
And I'm glad to hear you say that, Gerard, because I don't think any of us in Cedar Rapids expect all the guys I named to be superstars, some may, nor do we expect them to be so-called 4A players who excel at the AAA level for year after year. What you're saying is not every guy can show what he can do his first time up.
Right. No question. And you have to understand these guys are, 21 to 24 years old. It takes time to develop the confidence and the nuances of being a big league ball player. So, again, I think, the Braves have been fortunate to have Bobby Cox, who's been a good manager that's patient with the young guys, who keeps on giving them opportunity after opportunity. And I think those young men that you mentioned will be just fine in their time.
Gerard Klingscale is a scout with the Atlanta Braves. He's visiting with us for the third time here from Clinton on the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show. And Gerard, I wanted to get your take on something that's intrigued me ever since I was a little kid. Why is baseball the toughest sport to master? You look at guys like Quincy Carter, Drew Henson, the pitcher that the Cardinals had, Hutchinson, guys that are very good football players in the NFL, but really couldn't master this game. John Lynch pitched in this league and became an all-pro defensive back for Tampa Bay. Why is this the toughest sport to master?
Well, you're talking to a two-sport, not necessarily star, but sports have to be drafted real high by the Royals, and I can speak on that just saying that it is so hard. This game is a mental game. As a hitter, as a pitcher, it's a game of failure. With basketball and football, those are games of exertion, and you can do something one play and then be right back here to do something else. Baseball's not like that, and I think it's just important to play the game from an earlier stage to learn some of the nuances of the game, and I think that says a lot. I mean, once you know when you can pick up things like muscle memory and understand that if you're successful 3 out of 10 times, you're a Hall of Famer. When you start learning those things inherently at an earlier age, it's more conducive to being successful once you get into minor league baseball. Tools are great, but unless you understand this game, that it's a game of 90% mental and the rest physical, you're not going to have a lot of success.
In other words, Gerard, because let's say a guy, if he strikes out in baseball, he's probably going to have to wait 3 more at-bats to even have a chance to bat again. And then on defense, he may not have a ball hit to him where he can help the team defensively. So he has to learn how to deal in his mind, whereas in those other sports, one play's over, right back to the next play.
Oscar Acosta, who was a former big league pitching coach of the Cubs, was my coach with the Cubs in '95. He was a good friend of mine, and he's passed away this year, unfortunately. But he said, Gerard, the people that are most successful in this game are the people that can forget the quickest. And I think that goes for life in general. When you have difficulties, you learn from them and you move on. And in baseball, it is so hard to do that.
You better have a short memory.
No question.
We're going to take a break from Clinton's Alliant Energy Field, where the Kernels are trying to end their 8-game road trip on a winning note and make it 5 straight victories. We'll be back with Gerard Klingscale, the fine scout for the Atlanta Braves, in just a moment. This is Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
Service second to none, South Slope Cooperative. We're here for your communication needs, internet service, telephone, and TV. As a cooperative telephone company, our members are owners who make a good team. Service second to none, South Slope Cooperative Communications.
Turner Communications Triple Play, voice, video, and data with South Slope Cooperative in North Liberty. South Slope's lineup features everything that connects you to information. Digital wireless phones, long-distance plans, data home and business wiring, video conferencing, dial-up and high-speed internet service, fiber optic installation and termination, and digital video TV service in most areas. For all your communication needs, think South Slope. Visit them at southslope.com.
South Slope Communications Triple Play show guest Gerard Klingscale is with us, and we're going to finish up our chat with him this evening by asking about the upcoming draft. Gerard, does a kid in high school, junior college, or Division I, does he have a good idea if he's going to be drafted, what round he's going to be drafted in, and who's going to draft him, or is it literally a crapshoot?
It's almost cliche now, but no, they don't have any idea. I mean, I was the 31st pick of the Royals in '92, and I had some inclination at going the first 3 rounds, but there's no guarantee at all. Of all the clubs that I heard from, Kansas City was the only club I didn't hear from at all. I think I had 26 clubs visit my home or my apartment at school, and all of a sudden I get a call from Kansas City. So
it can really work that way.
Yeah, no question. It's just best kind of to play your game, and if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, prove them wrong and be a good college player.
Gerard, do you sit by the phone, and are your parents with you? How does the day of the draft or the couple of days unfold?
Well, I know with us, we sat by now you have it, I guess, via the internet now, but back in 92, you just had to wait by the phone for a phone call. So what I did was I went outside and went fishing and tried my best not to think about it, and I finally got my car about an hour into the draft and everything, so.
And then, Gerard, when they ship you out to rookie ball, is your head spinning? Are you pinching yourself? Are you homesick? What sorts of emotions do you go through once you suit up for the first time in a pro uniform?
I tell you, I think everybody's different. For me, there was a little bit of trepidation, going out there, and I was a 22-year-old college first-rounder. But it all depends on the kids. Some kids are just looking forward to it. To me, I was a little bit, as they say, deer in the headlights, like, wow, I've been at Purdue for the last 3 years. All of a sudden, I'm out in the middle of Eugene, Oregon. But I think that the kids that know that they're good, it's more or less just a stop along the way to the big leagues.
It's really that they can put it in that kind of perspective.
Yeah, that's exactly it. The guys that I want to sign, the guys that I'm sure every club wants to sign, the guys say, well, this is just one stop to where I need to get to, and those are the guys that you want.
That is the kind of guy you want.
Yeah, no question.
Well, Gerard, we're going to welcome you into our sparkling new ballpark. It'll be 5 years. It is 5 years old when you get there tomorrow evening, and we want you to treat yourself on the southwest side. I'll help you find it close to the ballpark. Is Zio Giano's Italian Spaghetti House. Gerard, it's got great pasta, homemade bread. In fact, it's the kind of pasta that our players literally sing about in the clubhouse. It's that good. And please treat yourself to a meal tomorrow evening on Zio Giano's and the Kernels. Thank you so much for these 3 great talks on the South Slope Communication Triple Play Show.
John, thank you for having me. You've made my time on the road go a lot smoother. Thank you very much.
Very kind of you to say that. Gerard Klingscales, our guest, a scout with the Atlanta Braves, our guest this evening. Kernels and LumberKings, the series finale, the road trip finale, as the Kernels try to make it a 6-2 sojourn to Davenport and the River City of Clinton. I'll have the series finale starting lineups for Alliant Energy Field when we return. This has been the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show on the Kernel Radio Network.
Second to none, South Slope Cooperative. We're here for your communication needs. Internet service, telephone, and TV. As a cooperative telephone company, our members are owners who make a good team. Service second to none, South Slope Cooperative Communications.
Tuna Communications Triple Play, voice, video, and data with South Slope Cooperative in North Liberty. South Slope's lineup features everything that connects you to information. Digital wireless phones, long-distance plans, data home and business wiring, video conferencing, dial-up and high-speed internet service, fiber optic installation and termination, and digital video TV service in most areas. For all your communication needs, think South Slope. Visit them at southslope.com.
It's the final game of an 8-game road trip that has seen the Kernels split 4 in Davenport and win the first 3 here at Alliant Energy Field, where this evening it'll be Colonel right-hander Moose Mosebach to be opposed by lefty Zach Phillips. Good evening, everyone. It's June 1st, Thursday night, and I'm John Rogers, set to give you the series finale starting lineups. The Kernels, Class A Midwest League affiliate of the 2005 Western Division American League champion Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, and the Texas Ranger farmhands here in Clinton, the LumberKings. First for former big leaguer Andy Fox and his Clinton Ball Club. They've won 18, lost 34. They're in 8th place in the 8-team Western Division first half standings. They've dropped their last 5 in a row, and Andy Fox has jumbled their lineup quite a bit this evening for the finale. Truman Nell leads off in center field for the LumberKings. The shortstop is Matt Smith, and he'll bat second. Hitting third at third base, John Whittleman. Cleanup batter for the LumberKings is designated hitter, Texas first-round pick out of Stanford last year, John Mayberry. Batting fifth, Freddie Thon at first base. Hitting sixth, Casey Herron, the left fielder. It's Brian Balicka catching and batting seventh. Batting eighth in right field, Joe Kemp. And the number 9 hitter is switch-hitting second baseman, Jose Vallejo. On the hill is a 19-year-old southpaw who attended Sacramento City College before being drafted by Texas in the 23rd round in 2004. Southpaw Zach Phillips. Zach is 1-1, lost 3, an ERA of 5.44. Zach Phillips looking for his first win since opening night, April 8th. He was involved in a no decision, a 6-4 loss to the Peoria Chiefs here on Saturday night. In 6 innings here at Alliant Energy Field, Phillips gave up 4 runs to the Chiefs on 11 hits in 6 innings, struck out a pair and walked 2. That's the Clinton starting lineup. Allen Motor Company proud to present the Kernels starting lineup. Remember, Allen's is open late until 9 o'clock this evening. Their beautiful campus, 13 acres, I-380 and Boyson Road, exit 25 in Hiawatha. A fantastic offer from Allen Motor Company right now. Your first year's maintenance free on Allen's when you purchase a 2006 Buick Rendezvous at Allen's, a 2005 Buick LeSabre, or a 2005 Buick Century. Allen Motor Company, they're open late till 9 o'clock this evening, or you can visit their virtual showroom on their website, www.allenmotor.com. The Allen Motor Company Kernel starting lineup has the league's leading base stealer, Brad Kuhn, in center field leading off. Heinle Stacia had 3 hits last night. He's the Kernel switch-hitting shortstop, batting second. Heinle has raised his average to .290. Jordan Renz will bat third in right field. Jordan is tied for second in the league in home runs with 10 and RBIs with 38. The Kernel cleanup batter will be at third base, Dallas Morris. Flint Whipke will be at first base this evening, and Flint bats fifth in the Allen Motor Company lineup. Brett Martinez will catch and hit sixth. Hitting seventh in left field, Stan Terrell Smith. The Kernel DH batting eighth is Tyler Johnson, and batting ninth, seeing his first action in the series since the Kernel Memorial Day win here on Monday, Marco Albano bats ninth at second base. Rounding out the Allen Motor Company Kernel starting lineup, making his 11th start of the year, 21-year-old Kernel right-hander Robert Moose Mosebach. Moose was a 4-0 loser earlier on this road trip, but pitched well Saturday night in Davenport. 6 innings, allowed 4 runs, all in 1 inning on 9 hits. Mosebach fanned a pair and walked none. Moose Mosebach has won 3 and lost 3. His earned run average is the very same as the Kernel team earned run average, 3.43. Robert Moose Mosebach, an Angel 9th-round pick last year out of Hillsborough Community College in Tampa, Florida, on the hill this evening for the Kernels. That's the Allen Motor Company Kernel starting lineup. The umpires are standing at home plate, and they're brought to us by Anderson and Brown Eye Care. Things are coming into focus at Anderson and Brown Eye Care's new location, Boyson Road in Hiawatha. They have evening and Saturday hours, and the entire building and exam rooms at Anderson and Brown Eye Care are wheelchair accessible. You can have your eyes examined at Anderson and Brown Eye Care and then pick your glasses and or contact lenses right on site. Anderson and Brown Eye Care is a full-service comprehensive eye care center, and because of their new location on Boyson Road in Hiawatha, just off I-380, easy in, easy out at Anderson and Brown Eye Care. The LumberKings are coming out of their third base home dugout in their white home uniforms, black hats, green numbers trimmed in black, and across the front of their white home jerseys in cursive letters, it spells LumberKings. The Kernels are gathered in front of their first base home dugout in their all-gray road uniforms. The Kernels are wearing their all-navy blue caps this evening, and the back of their gray uniforms have red numbers trimmed in white, and on the front, Cedar Rapids arches across the front of the gray road uniforms in big block letters. The lights are on here. It was a beautiful sunny day all day and afternoon, but here early evening as we approach the top of the hour, the skies have become overcast. The LumberKings take the field, and before we enjoy the national anthem, we want to remind you that you're tuned to Kernel Baseball on ESPN Radio 1600, KCRG, Cedar Rapids. Let's pause to honor America now with the playing and singing of the Star-Spangled Banner. Our biggest crowd of the series is gathered here at Alliant Energy Field, which was built in 1937 and given a $3.7 million renovation that has made it an even more special and glorious, historic, intimate ballpark to watch a ball game. Thank you for being with us this evening. Let's give you a look at the State Farm Major League scoreboard before the Kernels and LumberKings have at it in the fourth and final game of this series. State Farm Insurance agents Dale Thompson, Gary Schubat, Al Shetler, and Brad Dunn sponsor the State Farm Major League scoreboard. One final this afternoon in the National League at PNC Park. The Pirates edged Milwaukee 4-3. Only two other games in the National League. They're in the top of the second inning in Atlanta at Turner Field. No score between the Diamondbacks and Braves. Later this evening, the Phillies will take on the Dodgers. That's in Los Angeles. In the American League, there are only 4 games scheduled on the State Farm Major League scoreboard. They're delayed by rain in Baltimore. In the bottom of the second inning, the Orioles lead Tampa Bay 3-2. At Detroit, the Yankees are clobbering the Tigers 5-0. That's in the bottom of the third. Top of the third inning at Jacobs Field, the White Sox on top of the Tribe 5-2. Later tonight, the Twins take on the Oakland Athletics at the Coliseum. And that's the complete look at the State Farm Major League scoreboard, sponsored by State Farm Insurance agents Brad Dunn, Al Shetler, Gary Schubat, and Dale Thompson. Zach Phillips, Z-A-C-H, a 19-year-old southpaw who faced the Kernels right here in this ballpark about 2.5 weeks ago, May 12th. Phillips pitched 4 innings against the Kernels, allowed 6 runs on 7 hits in 4 innings, struck out 4, walked 4. His opponent, the man he'll face tonight, Moose Mosebach. And that was a Clinton 8-7 win. Zach Phillips, the lefty, did not figure into the decision. Brad Kuhn, a left-handed hitting leadoff batter who leads the league in steals with 17, will be first up for the Kernels against lefty Zach Phillips. We're ready for baseball. The lights are on here. It's 400 feet to dead center, and a 16-foot high black plywood wall provides a beautiful backdrop for the hitter. Phillips fires a fastball on the outside corner for strike one called. Game time temperature is 80 degrees. In on the grass at third is John Whittleman, and a late swing and a miss by Brad Kuhn, strike 2. The Kernels are hitting a lowly 236, tied with these LumberKings in the Midwest League batting standings for 10th place. Both teams hitting 236. The 0-2 to Kuhn. High, ball 1. Brad delivered a big sacrifice fly in the Colonel 5-2 win here on Thursday night. Last night, Brad was 0-for-4, but he got the big Colonel 7th inning started, the 3-run 7th, with a leadoff walk. Ball 2 outside to Brad. Overall, Kuhn, the Colonel leadoff batter, hitting at 249, no homers, 16 RBIs. And he plugs the 2-2 pitch foul from the lefty off to the left. Count remains 2 balls, 2 strikes to Brad Kuhn. Yes, Brad drew a leadoff walk in the Colonel 3-run 7th inning. In the Colonel 4-2 win last night behind Stephen Merrick. Kuhn fouls another one straight back. Zach Phillips is pitched better than his record indicates. He's 1-3. His only win came on opening night, April 8th. This is his 11th start of the year. In 49 2/3 innings, he's given up 79 hits but struck out 39. He gets Brad Kuhn looking on a very good curveball. Brad Kuhn is down on strikes as the lefty spun a curveball in and sent Brad packing. Heinle Stacia, 3 for 5 last night. The biggest hit in the game after Kuhn's leadoff walk in the 7th. Heinle bounced a base hit on a hit and run through the left side of the Clinton infield, and that sent Kuhn speeding to third, and it keyed the Colonel 3-run 7th inning rally. Ball 1 outside to the switch-hitting shortstop, Heinle Stacia. Heinle lifted his average to 290 with his 3-hit performance last night. A fastball from the southpaw and is outside. 2-0 to Stacia. Kuhn struck out looking to start this evening's action. Zach Phillips with the 2-0, and it's high and outside, ball 3. Phillips in 49 2/3, as I said, has given up a high number of hits, 79, struck out 39, walked only 15 in 49 2/3, an ERA of 5.44. And a 4-pitch walk to Heinley Stacia. Zach Phillips, after striking out the left-handed batter Kuhn on a curveball on a 2-2 count, walks Heinley Stacia on 4 pitches. And that brings in Jordan Renz. Renz batting .267. Jordan singled in the first last night, doubled in the third, was hit by a pitch and scored in the Kernel 3-run 7th inning. Jordan Renz leads the ball club with 10 home runs, tops on the team with 38 runs driven in, right-handed batter, 22-year-old. 4th-round pick by the Angels in 2002. Here's a throw to first, and Heinley Stacia, 7 steals and 14 tries, is back standing up. Casey Heron is playing extraordinarily deep in left field. Truman Mel's in center, and in right, Joe Kemp. John Mayberry's in the lineup this evening as the designated hitter for the LumberKings. And Zach Phillips fires high and away, ball 1 to Jordan Renz. The Kernels have won 4 straight on this road trip, 4-3 Sunday night in Davenport. Monday afternoon, a Larry Infante 2-run homer on Memorial Day, and the Kernels won it 2-1. In 13 innings, the Kernels won 5-4 Tuesday night, and last night, the Kernels behind Stephen Merritt topped the LumberKings 4-2. A changeup of beauty, and Zach Phillips has Jordan Renz out on his front foot. A swing and a miss by the Kernel right fielder. Phillips is only 19 years old. He comes set just above the letters. Checks Stacia. Delivers outside corner. Strike 2 to Jordan Renz. I shared my frustration with you last night, and you can't be too frustrated about a 4-game winning streak, so I don't want to sound like I'm a negative Nelly or starting the broadcast on a sour note. I do want to share an interesting statistic with you about this Kernel Ball Club. Swing and a miss by Jordan Renz on a pitch down and in. 2 gone here in the Kernel first inning. The Kernels, by those scores I gave you, have been winning ball games, tight ones, due to great pitching, defense, and just heads-up play in general. Our ball club has struck out 440 times in 53 games, and that's an average of 8.3 strikeouts per game. So if we can cut down on that number, and we have 2 of them already here in the top of the first, this winning streak, or a regular pattern of winning, I think will emerge for the ball club. A throw to first, no tag by Freddie Thon, as Heinley Stacia got back standing up. Dallas Morris, the Kernel cleanup batter, is at the plate for the first time this evening. Dallas staked the Kernels to a 1-0 advantage last night with a leadoff homer in the 2nd inning. There goes Stacia. A strike call. The throw to second is not in time. Heinley Stacia beat the peg from Brian Velicka, who really had no chance. Stacia got a flying start off first. He stole that base off the young lefty, Zach Phillips, and what unselfish baseball by Dallas Morris. Dallas saw out of the corner of his eye that Heinley Stacia was running, and Dallas could have swung and fouled the pitch off, or who knows, but he knew that Stacia had the base stolen, so he took the pitch. And it was a letter-high fastball for strike 1. Now a 2-out hit by Morris would likely give the Kernels the lead. The Clinton lefty misses outside. Zach Phillips is not a big fella at all. He's 6'1", 200 pounds, from Sacramento, California. I've always wanted to visit Sacramento, California. They tell me it's the one city in California that is very much a Midwestern prototype. I pop up into shallow right. Underneath it, Joe Kemp. Joe is there and has it. Dallas Morris flies to right to end the Kernel first inning. Stacia walked with 1 out, stole second with 2 outs, but is stranded. No runs for the Kernels in the first. no hits, a walk. There were no LumberKing errors. The Kernels leave one man aboard. And after one half inning, Kernels nothing, Clinton coming to bat. This is Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
Cedar Rapids' oldest wholesale greenhouse is also Cedar Rapids' full-service landscaping and lawn care center. Cedar Rapids Greenhouses has been serving eastern Iowans for 50 years at the corner of Johnson Avenue and Edgewood Road behind Guppy's on the Go. Cedar Rapids Greenhouses has a full line of trees and shrubs like magnolias, maples, and lilacs. And for a limited time, buy any potted tree and Cedar Rapids Greenhouses will deliver and plant it free. If they're searching for the right beautification project, let the trained landscape designers at Cedar Rapids Greenhouses help you create a unique plan for your home. From retaining walls to ponds, waterfalls, and fountains, they'll work within your budget and taste, and they do free estimates. Lawn care featuring mowing, fertilization, seeding, sodding, aeration, dethatching, maintenance, and cleanup are all done with care and precision. For the highest quality and low prices, see the difference at Cedar Rapids Greenhouses, Eastern Iowa's full-service landscapers at the corner of Johnson Avenue and Edgewood Road.
Hi, I'm Phil Andrews, your local Pekin insurance agent at Andrews Insurance in Cedar Rapids. I'd like to introduce you to an easy-to-understand, affordable life insurance plan with great benefits. It's simplified issue whole life from Pekin Insurance. The plan requires no medical exam, has guaranteed rates for life, and a guaranteed cash value. Life insurance made simple and affordable from Pekin Insurance. To learn more, contact me, Phil Andrews, at Andrews Insurance.
Moose Mosebach faced this LumberKing team, in fact squared off against the man he's pitching against this evening, Zach Phillips, back here on May 12th. Moose went 6 innings that night, allowed 6 runs in 6 innings on 11 hits, struck out 1, walked 3. Mosebach has won 3 and lost 3. The Kernel defense has Stantrell Smith in left, Brad Kuhn in center, and Jordan Renz in right. On the infield, Dallas Morris at third, the shortstop's Heinley Station. Marco Albano gets the call this evening at second, and over at first is Flint Whipke. The catcher is Brett Martinez, the hitter Truman Mell, and Mosebach pumps in a strike call at the letters to Truman Mell. Mell is out of the University of Maryland, 23 years old, 6'1", a left-handed hitter. And he pops one foul down the left field line. It's behind third, and Dallas Morris pedals back and makes the grab. Truman Mell has fouled out to third as Dallas Morris had to scoot back to make the play. And the 235 hitting leadoff batter for the LumberKings is retired. Here's a guy who plays with a lot of grit and determination, Matt Smith. Smith is hitting .270, 1 homer, 12 RBIs. Nothing for 4 last night. Slightly open stance, wears his white home trousers all the way down to his spikes, and there's a strike call, the fastball from Robert Moose Mosebach. Moose in 63 innings has surrendered 65 hits. A high pop foul over the third base Clinton dugout. Onto the grandstand roof that covers all the seats here at Alliant Energy Field. We had a beautiful day, but right when the umpire bellowed play ball, overcast skies swept in over the Mississippi. The 0-2 pitch is high and tight to Matt Smith out of VMI, Virginia Military Institute. Smith played in Arizona last year and hit .242 in 35 games. And ball 2 is outside, not by much, from Moose Mosebach. Smith, the speediest LumberKing, has 12 steals in 19 tries. And the 2-2 pitch is chopped foul towards the Kernel equipment manager standing to the home plate side of the Kernel first base dugout. Brad Kuhn is shifted way around into left center. Look out! Matt Smith is hit by a 2-2 pitch. It drilled him in the upper elbow area. He's not hurt. In fact, he flings his bat towards the LumberKing third base dugout and trots down to first. And that is the 7th hit batsman by Moose Mosebach this season. 1-on-1 out for John Whittleman. An outstanding defensive play made on a hot shot off the bat of Whittleman in the bottom of the 9th inning last night. Ryan Aldridge came on to get Whittleman for the final out, but Ryan got a big assist from shortstop Heinley Stacia, who had to make a very fine stab of a scalding one-hopper headed towards center field off this man's bat, John Whittleman. Ball one, down and in, ball one to John Whittleman. He's batting .220. Steps out, blows a big bubble with his gum, and checks the signals being flashed by his third base coach and manager, Andy Fox. Whittleman, as Mosebach throws over to first, Matt Smith dove back safely, steps back in. And Moose, with a fastball on the outside corner, evens the count to the .220 hitter, John Whittleman. No homers for John, 11 RBIs. The Rangers took this 19-year-old out of the Houston area in the second round last year. John Whittleman. And a breaking pitch is low, ball two. Looked like Moose Mosebach might be on his way to an easy inning. He got Truenmel to foul out to third, was ahead of Matt Smith 0-2, even the count at 2-2, then struck Smith. Matt's at first with a good-sized lead. He's being held by Flint Whipke. Throw over, and Matt Smith dives backhand first. John Whittleman has an unusual loading mechanism before he quiets his body for the pitch. He bounces up and down, literally, like he's on a spring-loaded chair. He bends his knees and then extends them. And every hitter has a little sort of timing mechanism. Albert Pujols does not, of course, but Albert looks like a statue at the plate. Ted Simmons was a great hitter, and Ted used to waggle his hips side to side. Remember Joe Morgan with that flap of the back arm? A throw to first, and Smith just gets back again, hand first. 1 on, 1 out for Clinton in the bottom of the first. Big crowd here tonight at Alliant Energy Field. I'd say we have well over 1,400. Mosebach's 3-1. The runner goes, and a pitch is fouled off the end of the stick down towards the LumberKing left field bullpen, and it's out of play. Onto the picnic garden, which has over 200 folks enjoying the action. Now, the picnic garden is different from the lumber lounge. The lumber lounge is right above the 12-foot-high plywood wall in right center here at Alliant Energy Field. The picnic garden is just that. It's a area beyond the third base grandstand that is a fun area with umbrellas. Ball 4 to the batter. The throw to second doesn't matter, and Moose Mosebach has hit a batter and walked a batter here in the first inning. Let's see if Kernan Ronan comes out to try to settle down the Colonel right-hander who, as I said, looked like he was on his way to a fairly easy inning. But, boy, you hit a guy with a two-strike pitch, and it always, I mean almost always, seems to come back to haunt you when you hit a batter with a two-strike pitch. I wish they'd keep a statistic on that. How many times does a team score in an inning after any of their batsmen is hit on a two-strike pitch? And I would bet it's 70% of the time. John Mayberry with 2 on and 1 out. This fella is 6'6", 230 from Kansas City out of Stanford University. And a humdinger of a curveball is in at the knees for a strike to John Mayberry. John hitting .242, 7 home runs. He had one of those 7 here in the Colonel 13-inning win Tuesday night, a 2-run blast in the bottom of the 13th. And he also hit a 2-run homer here in the series finale that we played against the LumberKings in mid-May. So 2 of his 7 have come against us. A double play ball to short. Stacia has it. Flips to Albano. Marco to first for the double play to end the inning. John Mayberry has bounced into an inning-ending 6-4-3 twin killing, and that will lift the spirits of Colonel right-hander Moose Mosebach. No runs for the LumberKings in the first. No hits. A hit batsman, a walk. There were no Colonel errors. A double play started by Stacia ends the inning, and the LumberKings leave a runner aboard. After 1 here at Alliant Energy Field, final game of an 8-game road trip. Kernels nothing, LumberKings nothing. You're enjoying Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
Get ready for summer and beat high gas prices with a pre-owned vehicle from Randy Keel Honda. Their inventory is jam-packed with fuel-efficient vehicles designed to save you money. Get an economical sedan for your daily commute, or indulge your sporty side with a high-performance coupe. Randy Keel Honda carries a large selection of Honda certified pre-owned vehicles backed by a 12-month, 12,000-mile comprehensive warranty and 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Need to haul the entire family? For a limited time, you can get special financing on Honda certified pre-owned Odysseys. Whatever your driving needs, Randy Keel Honda has the vehicle for you. Visit Randy Keel Honda on Centerpoint Road Northeast or online at randykeel.com. Randy Keel Honda, where they treat you right.
Hy-Vee, the most respected and recognized brand name in our entire great state. Your Cedar Rapids and Marion Hy-Vees value the vital role professional baseball plays in our community's fabric. Our treasured tradition of affordable, wholesome entertainment that brings families, friends, work colleagues, and customers together for lifelong memories. Your Cedar Rapids and Marion Hy-Vees are proud to support the best thing going in eastern Iowa, the wonder of Kernels baseball.
Moose Mosebach gives the Kernels a big lift as he gets cleanup batter John Mayberry to bounce into a twin killing to end the one-out scoring threat by the LumberKings in the first. Now Flint Whipke will bat for the Kernels. And a strike in on the outside corner to the Kernel first baseman. Flint has looked good at first base this season. Whipke was 1 for 4 in the Kernel win last night. And in this series, Flint's 3 for 11. 1 homer, 14 RBIs for Flint, and a good changeup from Zach Phillips has Flint Whipke out in front, swinging strike 2. We're home for a 4-game series against the Burlington Bees starting tomorrow evening. Pat McGrath Chevyland used car night. A fastball is down and into Flint, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. If you're 18 years or older and have a valid driver's license, you could be one of 3 Kernel fans to drive away in a Pat McGrath Chevyland used car. There's a line shot up into the grandstand along the first base side. And Flint Whipke stays alive at 1 ball, 2 strikes. Now Flint takes a pitch in the dirt, and that's ball 1, or ball 2 rather. No score. We're in the top of the second inning. 3:35 down the left field line here at Alliant Energy Field. 3:25 down the right field line. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Flint Whipke. Now Flint steps out, and the action slows a bit. Big curveball from the lefty Phillips, and that's taken outside, and Flint Whipke, who was in the hole, 0-2, has now run the count full. Saturday night, Alliant Energy will bring us fireworks. That game, as well as tomorrow night's action, starts at 7 o'clock. Flint rips one into the left field corner. Let's see if Casey Herron can get to it before Flint tries for 2. He cannot. Flint Whipke has doubled. He arrives at second standing up. It's his 7th double of the year. Flint Whipke on a 3-2 pitch drilled it down the left field line for a leadoff double here in the top of the second inning. Terrific at bat for Flint Whipke. He was in the hole 0-2, and then he made Zach Phillips bring him a good pitch on a payoff delivery. Brett Martinez has seen his average slip down to 208. Brett, with no homers, 14 RBIs, will try to hit the ball to the right side of the LumberKing infield or bunt. He bunts, and it's a foul ball about 10, 15, now 20 feet up the first baseline. Brett Martinez had the right idea, but he bunted it fair, and then it trickled into foul ground where the catcher, Brian Velicka, picked it up. So an unsuccessful sacrifice attempt by Brett to get Flint Whipkey over to third. Flint with the leadoff double here in the top of the second inning. I guess you could say summertime's officially here. It's June 1st. We're past the Memorial Day weekend. 7 o'clock games. And by far the biggest crowd of this series here at Alliant Energy Field. 3 rows of green box seats, brand new. Then a small walkway or aisle, and then 10 rows of aluminum bleachers with plastic cover. Look out! Brett Martinez squaring to bunt is drilled on the right leg, the lower leg. Brett is up, trying to bear weight, standing in the dirt batting circle. Martinez is limping, trying to walk towards first. He was hit by Zach Phillips. That's only the second batter Phillips has hit all season. And Brett Martinez, writhing in pain, is trying to put weight on that right leg. Eric Munson and Bobby Magallanes are flanking Brett Martinez as he's about 2/3 of the way up the first baseline now, taking off his batting gloves. Boy, that's tough to be squared to bunt and have a hard slider, it looked like, from the Clinton southpaw bear right in on you. Brett tried to play the role of a matador and, like a charging bull, escaped that pitch, but it got Brett in the right leg. And I'm still not sure Martinez is going to be able to continue in this game. Bobby Magallanes looks like he's going to his bench. Yes, Brett Martinez will be lifted after being hit by a pitch. And let's see who comes in to pinch run for Brett. It looks like it's going to be Larry Infante coming out of the Colonel first base dugout, although no decision has been made definitively. Yes, Bobby now looking into the Colonel first base dugout. He's got to lift Brett Martinez, who just can't bear weight on that right leg. It may be Mark Trumbo. Mark Trumbo is going to enter this game. Trumbo will take over at first, and Flint Whipkey, the first baseman, will likely catch. Now, they haven't made an official move yet. And I'll be darned, Brett Martinez is going to gut it out. Listen to the hand for Brett Martinez. Boy, that's something, that a guy has that much of a pain threshold to stay in the game after being really hit hard trying to bunt runners over. Well, now with Martinez at first joining Whipkey on the base paths, let's see if Bobby Magallanes will call upon Stantrell Smith to try to lay a bunt down. Stantrell is already tipping his hand. The first pitch, a curve and a bunt to the mound. The only play is for Phillips to throw to first, and he did just in time. Safe at first! No, wait a minute! They've called Stantrell Smith safe as the second baseman, Jose Vallejo, covering the bag, apparently came off the base. Or was the throw poor from the pitcher? Well, Vallejo missed first base. The bases are loaded. The bases are loaded with nobody out. They've credited Stantrell Smith with a sacrifice bunt, and then they've charged the second baseman, Jose Vallejo, with an error for missing first base. And now, Tyler Johnson takes low, ball 1. Well, the Kernels, with a Flint Whipkey double, Brett Martinez being hit by a pitch trying to lay a bunt down, get a sacrifice bunt from Stantrell Smith, and then an error on the second baseman. Now a changeup, and Tyler Johnson swings and misses, strike 1. Tyler was put down into the 8th slot in the Allen Motor Company order this evening because he had a rough go of it last night. Tyler Johnson, 0 for 5, struck out 5 times, but you can tell Tyler at this at-bat is very focused on trying to get at least a fly ball. A bouncer to third, should be a double play. Throw to home, out. No other throw. Out at home is Flint Whipkey. Tyler Johnson hit a one-hopper to John Whittleman, who I thought would turn a double play. Whittleman threw home to force Flint Whipkey. That play went 5-2. Whipkey was out by 15 feet, but Flint slid into the plate anyway. That's good hustling baseball. And then the catcher, Brian Valicka, looked at first, but did not try to throw to first. Tyler Johnson, unable to drive in a run, reaches on a fielder's choice. Here's Marco Albano with the bases loaded and one out. Well, let's credit Tyler Johnson. He put the bat on the ball. Did he drive in a run? No, but an improvement from last night, a big improvement. Albano swings and fouls it straight back. Strike one to Marco. Whitkey forced at the plate, third baseman to catcher. Martinez went to third. Stantrell Smith advanced to second. And reaching on the fielder's choice on the ground ball, force out third to home, was Tyler Johnson. Marco Albano, a .234 hitter in 17 games, falls behind 0-2 as Zach Phillips drops his changeup in at the knees. Marco Albano, 0 for 3 here on Memorial Day, did not play Tuesday night in the Colonel 13-inning victory, nor did he play in last night's 4-2 triumph. Marco Albano, a 33rd round pick by the Angels last year out of Boston College. In the hole, no balls, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss on a high fastball. Oh, Zach Phillips on 3 pitches strikes out Marco Albano. And now it's flat up to Brad Kuhn. Moments ago, the Colonels had the bases loaded, nobody out. Now the bases are loaded, 2 out. We ran into this same dilemma last night. Had runners at second, bases loaded, 1 out. Last night in the second inning, didn't score. Had runners at second and third, nobody out in the third inning, didn't score. The key men in the inning, Tyler Johnson and Marco Albano, unable to get the ball up in the air. Now a breaking pitch. Looked good from here. Ball 1 to Brad Kuhn. Well, Brad will try to pick up both Tyler Johnson and Marco Albano by coming through with a big 2-out base wrap. Boy, situational hitting is such a big part of this modern-day game of baseball. Brad Kuhn has a good cut and fouls it straight back, strike 1. Brad struck out looking in the first inning, leading off the game. The scoreboard towers above the 16-foot high wall in left center here at Alliant Energy Field. The LumberKing new clubhouse is beyond the left field foul pole. A grass slope seating berm right above the left field wall. And I'd say there's a dozen people standing on the grass slope seating berm, leaning on the yellow line that signifies a home run. They have a beautiful view of the field from that vantage point. Swing and a miss by Brad, strike 2. Whitkey was forced at the plate after his leadoff double. Martinez is at third, Smith at second, Tyler Johnson at first. Kernels had the bases loaded, nobody out. Now they're still loaded with 2 out, and lefty Zach Phillips comes set. The 1-2 to Brad Kuhn. Ooh, it just missed a big sweeping curveball outside, and now the deuces are wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, bases loaded, second inning. Phillips wants to throw a strike here. He does not want to run the count full to Kuhn with 2 out. Otherwise, those runners on a payoff count would be running. The lefty steps off the rubber as Brad Kuhn steps out. Zach Phillips, 1-3 in 11 starts last season in his rookie year in Arizona with the Arizona Rangers. And a fastball is low and inside. The lefty wanted the call from the plate umpire, didn't get it. Well, now Martinez at third, Smith at second, and Tyler Johnson at first will be running on this 2-out, bases loaded, full count delivery from the Clinton southpaw, the Colonel left-handed hitting leadoff batter, Brad Kuhn. The lefty keeps us in suspense by stepping off the rubber. Brad's back in the box, and Phillips comes set. The 3-2 offering popped in the air to shallow left. It'll be caught by Casey Heron. The fly ball came 1 out too late. That's been the Colonel story, even during this 4-game winning streak, a woeful inability to get a fly ball when needed. No runs in the second for the Colonels. My goodness, bases loaded, nobody out, and they didn't score. No runs, one hit, a hit batter, one Lumber King error, and the Kernels leave the bases loaded. How can you do that? Well, you tip your cap to Zach Phillips, the lefty. He really, really tightened up his intensity and focus to pitch out of that second inning jam. Here we go to the bottom of the second. Kernels nothing, Lumber Kings nothing. This is Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
Smelly cat, smelly cat.
What are they saying to you?
What are you playing, Nigel?
Well, I was just trading places with Phoebe from Friends. She's so funny. She's wicked.
Cool. You know, Sierra Mist and TBS had their Trade Places with the Funniest Faces sweepstakes, where you can really trade places with your favorite characters and win the ultimate sitcom getaway. Yeah, just go to TBS.com to enter. You can win the Friends Ross and Rachel honeymoon trip to Vegas. There's also a trip to see where the Seinfeld gang hung out in New York City. Or an Everybody Loves Raymond trip to a golf resort in California.
The Trade Places with the Funniest Faces sweepstakes. Just watch Friends on TBS and enter at TBS.com. Brought to you by Sierra Mist. It's that refreshing. No purchase necessary. Internet access required. Subject to official rules at TBS.com. Open to legal residents of the continental U.S. 18 or older. Void where prohibited. Ends 5/16/06.
We're here for your communication needs. Internet service, telephone, and TV. As a cooperative telephone company, our members are owners. We make a good team. Service second to none. South Slope Cooperative Communication.
Skies are starting to brighten here at Alliant Energy Field. The 25 and 28 Kernels have won 4 straight on this road trip and are just 1 game behind Beloit and 2.5 back of the Burlington Bees, whom will battle this weekend at Veterans Memorial Stadium. Moose Mosebach's first pitch is fouled away to the left by .302 hitting left-handed batter Freddie Thon. Freddie lines one into shallow right. It drops in front of Jordan Renz. Freddie Thon with the leadoff single here in the top of the second inning. That's the first hit for the Lumber Kings. Casey Herron belted his first home run of the season last night. It came in the second inning following a walk by Stephen Merrick. KC 1 for 3 with that 2-out 2-run homer. It gave the Lumber Kings a 2-1 lead, which they held until the Kernel 3-run 7th. Mosebach with a fastball in on the outside edge. Strike one to the left-handed batter, Casey Herron. This ballpark really comes alive when there's a big crowd like there is this evening. Casey Herron falls behind 0-2 as he lofts the pitch foul way down the left side, out of play. KC was a second-round pick of the Rangers in 2004. Out of Auburn, Washington. He was going to walk on to the Husky football team. That's how good an athlete he is. A double play ball to Albano. Marco underhands to Stacia. Heinley to first, and the Kernels turn their second double play in as many innings. Freddie Thon was forced at second on the ground ball right to Albano, and then Marco underhanded it to Heinley Stacia. Heinley whipped it back across the diamond to Flint Whipkey, and it went 4-6-3. 2 away here in the Lumber King second inning. Well, so far so good for Moose Mosebach. He's used the pitcher's best friend to his advantage. Ball one inside to Brian Velicka. You know what's ironic about some of the new stadiums that have been built in the last 10 or 15 years in the big leagues is there's a ground ball to the right side. Albano shuffles to his left, double pumps, waits for Flint Whipkey to get to the bag, and throws out Brian Velicka. And after a leadoff single by Freddie Thon, a double play and a ground ball out to second. No runs for Clinton in the second. 1 hit, a Kernel double play. There were no Kernel errors, and the Lumber Kings leave, nobody aboard. I'll tell you I'll finish my thought with you about the ironic nature of some of the new stadiums that have been built recently and compare them to the atmosphere here in Clinton when the Kernels come to bat in the top of the third. Through 2 at Alliant Energy Field, it's the LumberKings and Kernels, no score, and you're enjoying Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
Reading stimulates a child's imagination, increases their mastery of subject matter, improves their spelling and vocabulary, and opens up new worlds of discovery. That's why Toyota Financial Services, the Gazette, and the Kernels are teaming up to encourage elementary students throughout the community to read. Kernels players will visit 38 elementary schools this spring to talk with students about the benefits of reading. Girls and boys will then be rewarded with nifty prizes for achieving reading milestones. Toyota Financial Services, the Gazette, and the Kernels, proud to stand behind our community's youth through reading.
Next up, a musical taste of Dr. Pepper. It's a new spin on an old vibe from me to you. A tasty sip of Dr. Pepper for your ears, and it starts like this.
I'm a pepper, he's a pepper, she's a pepper, we're a pepper, wouldn't you like to be a pepper?
Now that's cool, but pepper is a little better. So let's slide in a taste of this.
I'm a pepper,
right on. But there's still more to it. I mean, there's nothing like it, because every sip is a chicken mashup of 23 different flavors. So for the true taste of Dr. Pepper, we dial it up even more.
I'm a pepper.
You know it. With 23 flavors mixed into one full taste, every sip is a cool mix of music to your mouth. Woo! Dr. Pepper, there's more to it.
The Kernels loaded the bases with nobody out, but could not cash in against lefty Zach Phillips. It'll be Heinley Stacia, Jordan Renz, Dallas Morris here in the third inning, no score. My thought about the new stadium building, I took a tour of Seattle's Safeco Field a few falls ago. My sister, brother-in-law, and niece live out in Seattle, and they were very proud of the $560 million facility, and it's beautiful. But they were boasting about how they built it close to the railroad tracks so you could hear the sound of the locomotive engine and whistles. And here in Clinton, it's just part of the landscape. Every few innings, you'll hear the loud whistle of the engine and the click-clack of the rail, and it just is part of the landscape here. They didn't build this ballpark to create some sort of effect from a bygone era. This ballpark is part of a bygone era. Ball one is inside to Heinley Stacia. And that sound of the engine whistle blowing and the momentum or the roar you hear of a train is very much a part of what Midwest League Baseball is all about. Yet in Seattle, I got a kick out of it that they were boasting about thinking of the ingenious thought of building a ballpark so you could hear a railroad engine toot its horn. Ooh, a beautiful changeup from Zach Phillips has Heinley Stacia fooled, and Heinley swings and misses. Strike two. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Stacia. We're just underway in the top of the third inning. No score. And a ground ball hit sharply right to John Whittleman. The third baseman pegs across the diamond. 1 out here in the Colonel third inning. Heinley Stacia, who walked and stole second in the first, has grounded out to third to open up the Colonel third inning. With the success in this series, the Kernels now lead the season series over the LumberKings 4-3. The 8-game road trip record is 5-2. And as I said earlier, the Kernels, with the 4-game winning streak, have crept to within 3 games of the 500 mark. 25 wins, 28 losses. Jordan Renz, who struck out in the first, swings and misses, strike one. The Colonel home record, 11-12. On the road, we're 14-16. 12 of our last 16 games in the season's first half will be at home starting tomorrow night. Ball one, down and in from the Clinton lefty. Zach Phillips, a 5.44 ERA. The league hitting .371 against the 19-year-old. Last year, 1-3 with the Arizona Rookie Rangers, a 3.93 ERA. Clinton's pitching staff is ranked 13th in the 14-team Midwest League with a earned run average of 4.33. Renz takes ball 2 low and away out. Jordan waiting now for the 2-1 delivery. And it's just low, ball 3. Well, the sun has come back out. And it's shining brightly on K.C. Heron in left, Truman Mell in center, and in right, Joe Kemp. Renz on a 3-1 delivery. Swings and misses, strike 2. That pitch was down and in, and Jordan tried to golf it. One away and nobody on for the Kernels in the third, and Jordan shows good plate discipline as he lets a 3-2 pitch dip low for ball 4. Jordan Renz has drawn the second walk issued by lefty Zach Phillips. 1 on, 1 out for Dallas Morris. Pat McGrath Chevyland used car night tomorrow. 3 of you Kernel fans 18 years or older with a valid driver's license will drive away in a Pat McGrath Chevyland used car. Fireworks brought to you by Alliant Energy on Saturday night. And then Sunday afternoon, Bird Zirk will be on hand to entertain. A double play ball to third, fielded by Whittleman, throw to second out, Vallejo to first, double play. Dallas Morris ends the Kernel third by tapping into an around the horn 5-4-3 wholesaler. The first turn by the LumberKings tonight. In the third, no runs for the Kernels, no hits, a walk. There were no LumberKing errors, a double play, and the Kernels leave. The base is empty. Moose Mosebach back to the mound for the bottom of the third here in Clinton, where it's the Kernels nothing and the LumberKings nothing. You're listening to Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
Who's that cool cooking man? King of the grill, who's your patio? It's time for Clement's Great Grill Challenge. If someone asks you, what's cooking, Daddy-O, tell them Clement's is always lean and juicy. The other guys have more fat, more flare-ups, and shrinking taste. Avoid unnecessary flare-ups. Never substitute fat for flavor. Always grill Clement's. King of the grill, man. The grill's hot, he's cooking. Who's your patio?
June marks Perennial Gardening Month at Peck's Flower Shop and Garden Center. New varieties of perennials plus all-time favorites at Peck's. Start your lasting perennial garden with Peck's great variety, super selection, and unsurpassed quality perennials. Peck's will help you select the right perennial plants for your yard and garden. Each week in June, Peck's will feature their favorite perennial plant at a special price. Look for the feature plant at Peck's as you stroll through acres of beautifully cared for perennial plants. Well cared for by the plant people at Peck's. Start your long-awaited perennial garden with a visit to Peck's Flower and Garden Shop. They're located at the corner of Blair's Ferry and Edgewood Road Northeast, open until 8 o'clock weeknights and 5 o'clock on weekends. Moose Mosebach does a psych session between the mound and second base. Al Raboski was famous for those psych sessions where he'd go back as a Cardinal closer and Kansas City Royal relief pitcher. Al would turn his back on home plate behind the mound, psych himself up, and then pound the baseball into the mitt and stomp up onto the hill as a bit of an intimidating action. Here's a hard shot past the diving Marco Albano off the bat of Joe Kemp, and for the second straight inning, Clinton has a leadoff single. Joe Kemp hit it so hard that all Marco Albano could do was leap, dive to his right to try to slow it down, but Kemp singles into right, and the LumberKings have their leadoff man on here in the third inning, no score. Andy Fox will likely start Joe Kemp to try to stay out of a double play. The Kernels have turned 2 of them already. Joe Kemp has 4 steals and 7 tries. Jose Vallejo may be bunting. Vallejo hitting .227, batting 9th in the LumberKing order. A throw to first, and Joe Kemp dashes back to the bag, standing up. Joe Kemp didn't play last night. He's a big tenor out of the Indiana University. He wrapped a single past Marco Albano into right center to start this third inning. Vallejo fakes a bunt. The pitch was over but low, ball one. Turning point in this game so far, the Kernels had the bases loaded with nobody out in the second inning, but could not score. The other key, the Kernels have turned 2 double plays in the first 2 innings. Vallejo is from the Dominican Republic, 21 years old. Slightly open stance. He waits as Flint Whipke receives a toss from Moose Mosebach. Flint, holding Joe Kemp at first, did not put a tag on him. The Kernel outfield plays the switch hitter batting left to hit the other way. There's a strike at the knees. A snap throw to first by Brett Martinez almost sailed right over the head of Flint Whipke. That was dangerous. Had Flint not caught it, Joe Kemp would have ended up at third, and perhaps he might have scored. I'm not exaggerating, because Jordan Renz is playing way around into right center. The Kernels don't think Vallejo can pull Moose Mosebach. If Vallejo is able to pull a pitch into the right field corner, he'd have an easy triple. Clinton is 5th in the league in stolen bases. They've swiped 52 bases in 52 games. The LumberKings, like the Kernels, hitting .236, 10th in the Midwest League. Fastball is chin high, and it's ball 2 to Vallejo. Robert Moose Mosebach had one bad inning earlier on this road trip in his first start of the road trip Saturday night. Allowed 4 runs on 5 hits in the 5th inning in Davenport and wound up losing the game 4-0. Pitched pretty well, though. Moose always gives you a great effort. Mosebach whips a throw to first, and again Joe Kemp gets back standing up. We'll have a chance for you to earn a pair of tour passes and a souvenir book from Bruce Moore when the Kernels bat in the top of the 5th inning this evening. Our Bruce Moore Bonanza question. Stantrell Smith is playing extremely deep in left. A pitch out on all things on a 2-1 count. Boy, that takes some real certainty that the runner's going to go when you make the count 3-1 by pitching out. You don't see that often. But that shows what confidence the Kernels have in Moose Mosebach to throw strikes. They're saying, so what if it's 3-1? And Vallejo on a 3-1 pitch taps it foul. That time Joe Kemp, of course, was running. There are so many games within the game in this national pastime of ours. That's why it's most people's fun. It's most Americans' favorite sport, because you can always mull over what the manager might do, should do, or should have done. Here's a base hit into center by Vallejo, and Joe Kemp will speed to third without a play. It's 1st and 3rd, nobody out for the LumberKings. Jose Vallejo went down and got a pretty good pitch from Moose Mosebach, zipped it into center. Brad Kuhn gets it back in, and the first 2 men, the 8 and 9 hitters in the LumberKing order, have singled off Moose Mosebach. And let's see if Clinton can cash in. They have runners at 1st and 3rd, nobody out. The Colonel infield will play at double play depth. Oh, Jose Vallejo, a number 9 hitter, went down below his ankle tops and looped the base hit into center. Joe Kemp motored to third without a play. Clinton has lost 5 in a row. The Colonels have won 4 in a row. LumberKing runners at the corners. Nobody out. Here in the top of the 3rd inning, as Clinton tries to break out on top. Truman Mel, M-E-H-L, stands motionless at the plate, left-handed batter. Double play ball to second. Albano has it. Feed station for 1. On to first. Double play. The Colonels turn their 3rd double play in as many innings, coming home to score Joe Kemp to give the LumberKings a 1-0 lead. But that is the 3rd double play induced by Moose Mosebach. He gets Truman Mel to wrap into a 4-6-3 double play. No RBI for Truman Mel, but Clinton leads it here in the 3rd, 1-0. Now a ground ball base hit into right by Matt Smith, the 3rd hit of the inning. Boy, the LumberKings are feasting on Moose Mosebach first pitches here tonight. So Moose must have established a trend in either his start here on May 12th, or the LumberKings have already noticed that Moose likes to put the first pitch over because they're jumping on it with a great deal of regularity. Let's see if Matt Smith will try to steal second base. John Whittleman, the batter, he walked in the first inning. 1-0 LumberKings. We're in the bottom of the third inning, rather. A slider is just low, ball one. Very, very light slate of games on the State Farm Major League scoreboard. One this afternoon at PNC Park. The Pirates, a bouncer to second. Albano Pogo sticks up to glove it and then throws out the batter, John Whittleman. Whittleman bounces out to second to end the Clinton third. At PNC Park on the State Farm Major League scoreboard this afternoon, the Pirates clipped the Brewers 4-3. 1 run for the LumberKings in the third on 3 hits. The Kernels turned their third double play in as many innings. There were no Kernel errors, and the LumberKings leave 1 man aboard. And after 3, the LumberKings lead the Kernels at Alliant Energy Field 1-0. You're listening to Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
The summer heat can be so oppressive unless you can keep your cool. Who do you call when your cooling system fails? Call on the A-Team at Ahern Plumbing and Heating. The A-Team can inspect and ensure that your cooling system is good to go when you need it most. 24 hours a day, rely on the A-Team from Ahern Plumbing and Heating. Call 393-4872. 393-4872 for Ahern Plumbing and Heating.
Advanced Systems, the leader in office technology, is like a great baseball coach when it comes to office productivity. Advanced Systems makes the most of your team. They do it with the latest technology for office productivity from Canon. They're also like a great trainer. Advanced Systems Advanced Life Support makes sure your office equipment runs at peak levels and fixes it fast if things go wrong. Get it over the fence with Canon technology from Advanced Systems. Call 832-8291.
This is for the 21st century with Advanced Systems.
Coffee works when it's important to you. Coffee works, let your work shine through. Quality coffee, we do it for less. Don't settle for second best. Coffee works, computer center. Coffee works, we do it better when you think of coffee. Think of Coffee Works. Coffee works, coffee works.
1-0 in favor of Clinton. Flint Whipke fell in the hole 0-2, ran the count full, then doubled down the left field line. His first time up. It was Flint's 7th double of the season. Flint Whipke, right-handed hitter, straightaway stance, cocks his elbow back high so that his inside of his forearm is parallel to the dirt and takes outside, ball one. Flint is using a two-tone color bat, a brown handle, and a black barrel. Ball one up and away from Phillips. Now a swing and a miss by Flint. This Zach Phillips is way better than his 1-3 record indicates. Case in point, he pitched out of a bases loaded, nobody out jam in the Kernel second inning. Breaking pitch, strike two to Flint. Talking about transportation noises, earlier we told you that Safeco Field, during my tour, was proud that they'd built the new ballpark near a rail line. Look out, Flint backs away from ball two inside. It's 2-2. When the Cardinals had a heated rivalry in the 80s with Davey Johnson and his New York Mets, the Cardinals would visit Shea Stadium 9 times. And boy, could you hear those airplanes from LaGuardia. Flint Whipke lashes a single over the head of the leaping second baseman, Jose Vallejo. Flint is 2 for 2. Now that is smart hitting. A right-handed batter taking a lefty the other way. And Flint did it beautifully, lashing a leadoff single into right. And Flint Whipke's 2 for 2. Brett Martinez was trying to bunt Flint Whipke from second to third after Flint's leadoff double in the second, and Brett was hit by a pitch. No, there was a time when I'd watch the Cardinals or listen to the Cardinals and Mets from Shea Stadium, and I'd hear a Sonic, or not a Sonic jet, but a commercial jetliner just drowning out all kinds of noise with the landing and takeoff patterns from LaGuardia. I don't think that is nearly as prevalent at Shea Stadium now. Look out, a pitch outside, or a strike to Martinez, or a strike to Brett, then a pitch down and in, and Brett Martinez must think that Zach Phillips woke up on the wrong side of the bed, having had a nightmare about him. Phillips almost hit Brett Martinez. Martinez had to skip out of the way of that pitch. Smashed to second for a double play. Flint Whitkey didn't read that ball well off the bat. It was caught by Jose Vallejo. Vallejo threw in behind Whitkey for the double play. Brett Martinez hit it right on the button, but lines to Jose Vallejo. Vallejo had an easy toss to first to double off Flint Whitkey. 5 double plays have been turned in this game, and we're only in the top of the 4th inning. The Kernels have turned 3 double plays, and the LumberKings have 2 to their credit. Bases empty, 2 gone here in the 4th. The batter, Stantrell Smith. 1-0 LumberKings. Strike 1 on the outside corner at the knees from Zach Phillips to Stantrell Smith. Sunday, the gates open at 1, 2 o'clock start. Bird Zirk will be entertaining, and the Kernels will be issuing the 2006 set of baseball cards sponsored by Perfect Game. Those will go to the first 1,000 of you Kernel fans, regardless of age or gender. On Sunday afternoon, the Kernels sign autographs from 1:20 until 1:40 at the ballpark Sunday afternoon. Stantrell fouls one off to the right, strike 2, strike 3 at the knees. Stantrell Smith has gone on 3 pitches, and the Kernel 4th inning starts with promise but ends in a dud. No runs in the 4th for the Kernels, 1 hit, a double play. There were no LumberKing errors. The Kernels leave the bases empty. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Clinton on top of the Kernels 1-0. You're listening to Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
Fairfax State Savings Bank is paying you to come to the ballpark every Wednesday this season. You heard right. Fairfax State Savings Bank is paying you to come to Veterans Memorial Stadium every Wednesday this season. The first 750 of you Kernel fans to enter the gates before Wednesday's home game will receive an envelope full of money inside from Fairfax State Savings Bank. Each of those 750 envelopes will contain a greenback up to a $100 bill. Fairfax State Savings Bank, free money Wednesdays. Come early to line your pocket with cash.
Meet Jim. Well, it's nice how he spends weekends in his yard trying to kill weeds.
Gotcha.
Meet Dave. He spends weekends on the green. That's because Greg's Lawn Service takes care of his lawn. Mowing, fertilizing, pruning, and, weed control. Greg's does the big jobs, too. Landscaping, retaining walls, curb edging, and patios. So when you've had enough of those little devils...
Yes.
Call 393-0101. Greg's Lawn Service, a cut above the rest.
Hi, I'm Tanya Sedlock, your local Pekin insurance agent at Andrews Insurance here in Cedar Rapids. We all know how quickly life can change. You buy a new car or a new home. Your family is blessed with a new baby. Your teenager starts driving the family car. I'm here to help with a complete line of insurance plans to give you protection when you need it the most. Pekin Insurance has been in business of insuring people for 85 years. I'm here to put your interests first. Please visit me, Tanya Sedlock, at the Andrews Agency.
Just past the top of the hour, and you're enjoying Kernel Baseball on ESPN Radio 1600, KCRG, Cedar Rapids. Tomorrow evening's auto game will be on 1450 KMRY. Scott Unash will have the races here with you in the zone. Here's a hard hit ball pulled to the shortstop off the bat of John Mayberry, and Heinley Stacia gloves it cleanly and on to first, 1 away on 1 pitch here in the Clinton 4th inning. This ball game is going quickly. 1-0 LumberKings. Boy, I'll tell you, there's guys in this game that are as superstitious as the players. They're right to my right here in the Clinton press box. I don't mind saying if a guy has a no-hitter or if a fella happens to be 0 for his last 30. Of course, when you say that he's 0 for his last 30, he'll get a hit. And the point is, if you say a game's moving right along, we'll have another 13-inning marathon like we did here on Tuesday night that lasted 3 hours and 26 minutes. Moose Mosebach is even on the count to Freddie Thon, 1-1. 1-0 in favor of the LumberKings. They've out-hit the Kernels 4-2. Thon bounces it to second. Marco Albano's been a busy man, and he gloves it and tosses out Freddie Thon. Freddie led off the second by singling into right. He's the second out here in the Clinton fourth as he bounces out to Marco Albano. Bases empty, 2 gone, and the batter for the LumberKings, Casey Herron. Sunday, popcorn's only $1, along with Bird Zerk and the Colonel baseball card giveaway. Velocity Sports Performance invites you to run the bases after the game. That's all part of a Family Fitness Day on Sunday, June 4th. Your chance to find out more about fitness, health, nutrition. There'll be booths set up along the concourse of the ballpark. The American Heart Association, St. Luke's, and Velocity Sports Performance they're all combining to put on the Family Fun Fitness Day. Ball 2 outside to Herron. KC rips it into the right field corner. That's extra bases. Jordan Rent will do well to try to hold Casey Herron to a double. KC, I thought, would try for 3, but he holds it second. Casey Herron has touched up Moose Mosebach for the 5th Clinton hit in 3 2/3 innings. Casey Herron got ahead 2-0 and then cranked a double down the right field line. Jordan Renz did a terrific job preventing Herron from trying for a triple. Herron, with his 7th double of the year, is in scoring position with 2 away for catcher Brian Valicka, Valichka. Valicka, one of only 2 right-handed batters in this LumberKing lineup. Brian bounces one to the left of Dallas Morris, who spears it and throws wide, but Flint Whipke comes to the rescue of Dallas Morris. Flint had to come to the home plate side of the bag, catch Dallas's wild throw, and then tag out Brian Valicka to end the inning. Brian Valicka chops out to third, first pitch swinging, and the LumberKings leave Casey Herron at second, following his 2-out double here in the 4th inning. No runs for Clinton, 1 hit, their 5th of the evening. There were no Colonel errors. Clinton leaves a runner aboard. They've now stranded 3. Colonels come to bat in the top of the 5th inning, trailing the LumberKings 1-0. This is Colonel Baseball on the Colonel Radio Network.
There's a lot you can do to satisfy your taste for Italian. You can marry one. You can drive one. Or you can go to Zio Giano's and feast on Zio's homemade bread, pizzas, and pasta, authentically prepared in Zio Giano's famous Italian style. Zio Giano's for the hometown taste of Italy.
Come to Zio Giano's, the pasta makes you sing. Come to Zio Giano's for real Italiano. Come to Zio Giano's, the pasta makes
What do I get at Cost Cutters? Hey, my hair is my trademark. I gotta be able to count on a good cut and stuff to keep my hair looking thick, even if it's not.
I get a good cut, no long wait, a smile, and a little something left over in my wallet.
I get little trims that keep my hair long and healthy, and stuff to make it loose and curly one day, straight and sassy the next.
With expert stylists trained in the latest trends and techniques and your favorite professional styling and hair care products, you'll always get what you're looking for at Cost Cutters. At Cost Cutters, you can always count on convenient, affordable, professional care and products that help you create just the style you want. At Cost Cutters, you'll always get a little more.
What do I get at Cost Cutters? A slick, clean cut, great highlights, and a little wig from the hottest stylist I've ever seen.
what you're looking for. Just
We're already in the top of the 5th inning here in Clinton, and the LumberKings scored the game's only run after base hits from Joe Kemp and Jose Vallejo and a True and Mel double play. The Colonels have Tyler Johnson leading off, the number 8 hitter. Tyler, a delightfully upbeat and kind guy, always smiling, and it's good to have that kind of attitude on a baseball team. Tyler Johnson looks at a big curveball low from Zach Phillips. Well, the LumberKings have to be ecstatic over what Zach Phillips has given them so far tonight. 4 innings of shutout ball. Ball 2 is high and away, a fastball. Time for our Bruce Moore Bonanza. If you've won the Bruce Moore Bonanza already this season, congratulations, but please don't email us this evening here in Clinton. Otherwise, your chance to earn a pair of passes to Bruce Moore and a Bruce Moore souvenir book right now. Log on to Bruce Moore's website, www.brucemore.org. And then you'll email me here in Clinton at john@kernels.com. I'll give you the Bruce Moore question in a moment. Tyler Johnson took a strike and now swings at a pitch in on his fist and fouls it off to the right, strike two. Our Bruce Moore Bonanza question with a pair of passes to the mansion for a tour and a Bruce Moore souvenir book is your reward. Well, first the 2-2 pitch to Tyler Johnson. Swing and a miss, strike three. One gone here in the Colonel fifth inning. And the Colonels, staying below their average of 8.3 strikeouts per game, have struck out 5 times so far in 4 1/3 innings. Our Bruce Moore Bonanza question. How much did it cost to construct Bruce Moore? How many dollars did it cost to construct Bruce Moore? You'll find the answer on the Bruce Moore website, www.brucemore.org, BRUCEMORE.org. And you can email me the answer right here in Clinton at John, John, at Kernels, KERNELS.com. There's strike two to Marco Albano, who tried to bunt his way on the first pitch. We have a Bruce Moore Bonanza question for you to email me the answer to. The 0-2 to Marco, who struck out in the first, and he waited on a curve and drills it foul into the first base box seats. The fans there duck for cover. Our Bruce Moore Bonanza question here from Clinton, how much did it cost to build or construct Bruce Moore? It took 2 years. How much money did it cost? I think you'll be amazed at how little in today's dollars it actually cost to build that beautiful National Trust historic building, Bruce Moore. But to find the answer, all you have to do is log on to Bruce Moore's website, www.brucemore.org, BRUCEMORE.org. Marco dribbles one up the third baseline. Popping off the hill is Phillips. He throws low, but Freddie Thon is as good a first baseman as I've seen in this league, and the pitcher, Zach Phillips, retires Marco Albano on a little nubber to the left of home plate. 2 away here in the Colonel fifth inning. 1-0 LumberKings. Our Bruce Moore Bonanza question. How much did it cost to build Bruce Moore? How many dollars? Looking at it, I would think it would probably have cost $10 to $12 million, but I'll let you find the answer. Brad Kuhn bounces one to first. Easy play in front of the bag for Freddie Thon, who turns his back to home plate, trots to the pillow, steps on it, and an easy 1-2-3 inning, the first of the night for lefty Zach Phillips. Brad Kuhn bounces out to first, and the Colonels go in order in the top of the fifth inning. Same old story, the Colonels relying on pitching and defense to try to extend this winning streak to 5 games. Offense virtually non-existent. As we go to the home half of the fifth at Alliant Energy Field, Moose Mosebach, the Colonel pitcher. It's Clinton leading the Colonels 1-0. This is Colonel Baseball on the Colonel Radio Network.
With spring comes a sound we're all familiar with, lawnmowers. The Solid Waste and Recycling Department encourages you to mulch your grass this year, though instead of bag, it's a practice known as grass cycling. Why grass cycling? Well, it saves time because you don't have to rake or bag your grass clippings. But it also saves money because those clippings contain essential nutrients, reducing your need for expensive fertilizers. Best of all, grass cycling helps to save landfill space. Do your part. Grass cycle. This message from the Solid Waste and Recycling Department.
Before we get to our Bruce Moore Bonanza question, John Rogers here in Clinton reminding you that June is Perennial Gardening Month at Peck's Flower Shop and Garden Center. Start your lasting perennial garden with Peck's wonderful variety, great selection, and unparalleled quality perennials. Peck's will help you select the right perennials, the right plants for your yard and garden. Each week in June, Peck's is featuring their favorite perennial plant at a special price. Look for the featured plant at Peck's as you stroll through acres of beautifully cared for plants, well cared for by the plant people at Peck's. Peck's Flower Shop and Garden Center, Nursery and Landscaping They've been growing with the Cedar Rapids and surrounding communities for 50 years. Peck's is located at the corner of Blair's Ferry and Edgewood Road, northeast. Well, we're already into the bottom of the fifth inning here at Alliant Energy Field. 1-0 in favor of the LumberKings. The man at the plate has scored the game's only run. A leadoff single in the third, Joe Kemp, and a beautiful backdoor slider from Moose Mosebach, strike one called. Joe Kemp, a .228 hitter with 2 homers and 22 RBIs. We do have a winner in our Bruce Moore Bonanza. Here's a towering fly ball into straightaway left. Stantrell Smith comes in a few steps and makes the grab for the first out of the inning. Joe Kemp skies to left. Well, we had 2 winners in our Bruce Moore Bonanza. We're going to congratulate the Cedar Rapids winner and let our friend from Clinton participate a little bit later in the summer. Dale Jones, congratulations, Dale. You've earned a pair of Mansion Tour passes as well as a souvenir book, A Swing and a Miss by Vallejo. Also, Brad Seward, a very, very long-time good friend here in Clinton. Brad also chimed in with the correct Bruce Moore Bonanza question answer. Swing and a miss by Vallejo, strike 2. Our Bruce Moore Bonanza question, I told you you'd be amazed at the answer. How much did it cost to construct Bruce Moore? It took 2 years, $55,000. A check swing bouncer to the right side. Flint Whipke has it, shuffles it underhand to the pitcher covering Moose Mosebach. Nothing to it. 2 gone here in the Clinton fifth inning. It went Whipke to Mosebach, 3-1. Boy, Moose has been a guy that's really suffered from lack of run support. Moose didn't get any runs for him in his 4-0 loss in Davenport Saturday night, and the Kernels have not given him any runs through 5 innings tonight. 2 gone, and Truman Mell at the plate. He grounded into a double play his last time up, but on the double play, he drove home a run. He wasn't credited with an RBI, but a run scored. Congratulations, Dale Jones of Elmwood Drive. Dale, you're our Bruce Moore Bonanza question winner. Here's a line shot over the head of Moose Mosebach into center. A 2-out single for Truman Mell. And now the LumberKings have out-hit the Kernels 6-2. Truman Mell with his first hit of the game. Matt Smith has been hit by a pitch and singled. Dale Jones, you can expect to be hearing from Bruce Moore through the mail within the next week or so. Probably sooner. I want to apologize to retired State Farm insurance agent Lanny Peterson, now the full-time host family coordinator. Lanny, we got your address to Bruce Moore earlier this week, and you should have or will receive the pertinent rewards you earned earlier this spring. Lanny, they couldn't find your address in the phone book. I told them your name was not unlisted, but they couldn't find it, so I took the address you emailed me, Lanny, and you should be receiving your rewards from Bruce Moore. I don't think, Lanny, your address and phone number are unlisted, but if they are, thank you for helping us out with it. All the Kernel players are grateful to Lanny Peterson for everything he's done for them over the last 7 to 8 years. Lanny was the guy who went to Kernel General Manager Jack Rader and said, hey, I have time and I would like to help in the very important aspect of young professional baseball players' lives, and that is a comfortable place to stay where they always feel welcomed and loved. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Matt Smith. Heck, I remember Ozzie Smith thanking some people in Clarinda, Iowa. Ozzie grew up in Los Angeles, and he came out to the state of Iowa to play baseball. Matt Smith cuts on a fastball low and in. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And Moose Mosebach records his first strikeout of the ball game. No runs for the LumberKings. A 2-out single by Truman Mell, 1 hit. There were no Kernel errors, and Clinton leaves the runner aboard. They've now stranded 4. I remember Ozzie Smith thanking the folks from Clarinda, Iowa, who served as his host family when he was 17 or 18 years old. You never forget. So thanks to Lanny Peterson, and thanks to Dale Jones, our Bruce Moore Bonanza question winner tonight. The Kernels are in quest of a run or two as lefty Zach Phillips has shut our ball club out through 5 innings. We go to the top of the 6th here at Alliant Energy Field. Big crowd on hand, and the LumberKings are ahead 1-0. You're enjoying Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
Sylvia, you know that cruise you've always wanted?
Yeah?
Well, there it is.
That would be our house, Bob. Are you feeling all right, dear?
Well, this is so cool. Guarantee Bank will let us use the equity in our home to do just about anything we want. College tuition, a room addition, a cruise, and best of all, the interest may be tax deductible. Now do you see it? Ah, the sun, the waves, the tropical breezes.
Ooh, now I see it. It's a convertible. The sun on my face, the wind in my hair.
See your guarantee banker in Cedar Rapids, Marion, or Hiawatha, and use the equity in your home to do whatever you want, even if it's just to get out of the house.
Feel the road, the roar of the engine.
The roar of the...
Hey, it's my kind of life. Keep your hands off my Porsche, Bobby boy.
Guarantee Bank.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. Consult your tax advisor for interest deductibility. Some restrictions apply.
If you're looking to enhance your property's appearance, function, or value, make the experts at King's Material your most reliable teammate. Retaining walls? You bet. Custom patios? Bingo. Walkways and steps? King's Material says yes. King's Material has all the brick, concrete, and some elements to make your landscaping, masonry, and architectural projects become a reality. To view the astonishing array of beautiful and innovative products King's Material can bring to your home, yard, or business, visit King's online at kingsmaterial.com.
An interesting note is Heinle Stacia, whose walk stole second and grounded out sharply to third, leads off the 6th, 1-0 Clinton. Jim Payson, who is a vital member of the board here in Clinton, the ownership group. I didn't realize, Jim told me that when Ozzie Smith played in Clarinda, Iowa, he was playing in the Jayhawk League. And Jim said there were teams in Red Oak and Hays, Kansas, and Topeka and Wichita. And the Jayhawk League is still a very fine league. Zach Phillips comes right in on the hands of Heinle Stacia. Heinle breaks his bat and rolls it weakly to third. John Whittleman across the field for the out. It goes 5-3. The Colonel bats have been completely stymied by left-hander Zach Phillips, looking for his first win since opening night, April 8th. Jordan Renz has struck out and walked tonight. Ball one outside to Jordan. Kernels are right in the game. It's 1-0 Clinton, top of the 6th. 6 hits for the LumberKings, 2 for the Kernels. Kernels lead the league in stolen bases with 71 now. Stacia stole second back in the first. Zach Phillips fires a strike in at the belt, 1-1 to Renz. The Kernels are hitting .220 against right-handed pitching this year, .270 against lefties. Yet look what's unfolding tonight. Southpaw Zach Phillips is blanked the Kernels through 5 1/3 innings on 2 hits. So the Kernels' .270 average against lefties has not surfaced yet tonight. Ball 2 outside to Renz. Now a strike on the outside corner. Evens the count to the Colonel number 3 hitter. Dallas Morris with the home run last night up the team total to 31 for the Kernels. The Kernels are third in the league with those 31 round trippers. Jordan swings and misses, strike 3. 2 gone here in the 6th inning, and the batter, Dallas Morris. Dallas has flown to right and wrapped into an around-the-horn double play. Boy, Zach Phillips deserves all the credit in the world. He has thrown strikes and kept the Kernels guessing all night. The turning point in the game came in the 2nd inning when the Kernels loaded the bases with nobody out, and Zach Phillips prevented us from scoring. Moose Mosebach has been almost as sharp as Zach Phillips on the hill for Clinton. Moose has surrendered 6 hits but gotten 3 double plays and allowed only 1 run. A changeup outside to Dallas Morris, ball 1. Now Dallas waits on a changeup and loops it foul off to the right. Kernels in one-run games, and we've won in our 4-game winning streak. 3 of the wins have been by a run. The Kernels have upped their record in one-run games to a respectable 7-8. The LumberKings are 8-10 in one-run contests. Morris takes a change-up low for ball 2. PRC's Community Care has now donated $775 to the Haycap Food Reservoir in their Home Runs for the Hungry campaign. PRC, the former Access Direct, proud to support the communities in which their employees live and work. PRC donates $25 to the Haycap Food Reservoir for every Kernel home run hit this year, and the Kernels have hit 31. Ball 3 low to Dallas, now strike 2 on the outside corner. Zach Phillips with the performance of his season so far. This 19-year-old lefty has an ERA of 5.44, the league hitting .371 against him, but he has really sparkled on the hill tonight. All the credit goes to him. A high pop foul over the Kernel first base dugout. Dallas Morris battling with a full count. Nobody on, 2 out. Top of the 6th inning here at Alliant Energy Field, and the Kernels trail it 1-0. Another payoff lip delivery. Hit hard to shortstop. Matt Smith fields it cleanly and fires to first to retire the side. That is now 8 in a row retired by lefty Zach Phillips. He's been the story of this game. Kernels go 1-2-3-0 across for the 2nd inning in a row, and after 5.5, Clinton continues to hold a 1-0 lead in this series finale. And you're listening to Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
Jumpstart your future with learning from Kirkwood Community College. No matter what your age or previous work experience, you have new opportunities as close as your phone. 398-5517. Kirkwood has hundreds of choices for career and technical programs. Kirkwood has financial aid and support options to help you succeed, and Kirkwood has locally based centers to help you balance work, family, and learning. Kirkwood is ready when you're ready. Call Kirkwood Admissions today, 398-5517. Kirkwood, start here, go anywhere.
Convenience and trust, 2 things all of us want. At Tri-State Travel, we offer both. It's convenient for you to make 1 call or 1 visit to our office for all your travel needs. A 1-day tour, a cruise, a trip to Branson, to charter a motor coach. For 66 years, Tri-State Travel has been a name you can trust to provide quality products. Come see why you can trust us to provide the convenience you expect. Tri-State Travel now at our new location on 7th Street Southwest.
When it comes to auto insurance, Westside Agency in Palo, your professional Pekin insurance agency, will make certain you're properly insured with the right coverages and deductibles. Westside Agency will tell you about the money-saving discounts from Pekin Insurance. Multi-car discount, good student discount, loss-free discount, 45-plus auto discount, auto home discount, low mileage discount. To see if you qualify for any of these auto discounts that will lower your premiums, visit Westside Agency in Palo.
The LumberKings will bat in the bottom of the 6th inning, leading the game 1-0. Lefty Zach Phillips, 19-year-old from Sacramento City College, has spun 6 shutout innings at the Kernels. Meanwhile, Moose Mosebach, the only run Moose gave up was after a pair of hits by Kemp and Vallejo in the 3rd, and then a double play, the 3rd turn by the Kernels in this game. That produced the game's only run. Middle of the order for the LumberKings, and left-handed batting John Whittleman takes a strike called on the outside corner. Now a bouncer back to the mound, sharply hit. Moose Mosebach contorts his body in a unusual fashion. Moose was falling off the mound a little bit to his left, and he reached across his body to nab that one hopper, and Moose helped himself with a pretty good fielding play. Moose then calmly tossed out John Whittleman. It went 1-3. Well, let's take sort of a negative and turn it into a positive. The negative being the Kernels' alarmingly high strikeout rate. Our baseball fun fact takes us back to a day when power and striking out didn't correlate together. James Troutman, a new father is being very kind and about to treat me to some ice cream. James, if they have any of that in that bowl that's a mixture of chocolate and vanilla, however they serve it, James, thank you very much. Here's a 1-1 pitch to John Mayberry and a swing and a miss. 1 out here in the 6th inning. Our baseball fun fact, and this is amazing, I think. Well, we try to make every baseball fun fact interesting and entertaining, that it opens up your eyes a little bit. John Mayberry lifts a high pop foul down the right field line. Look out, look out. Marco Albano goes crashing into the concrete clubhouse, and Marco is hurt. Marco Albano getting up very gingerly. He wrenched his ankle, and that's one of the areas that the LumberKings hope to keep to meet baseball standards. They hope to pad that wall in the next few years, as Marco Albano trying to bail out Flint Whipke. Flint went down into the right field corner, and Marco rammed either his ankle, foot, or knee into a concrete wall that defines the outer portion of the Kernel clubhouse. Listen to the hand from Marco Albano as he is gamely trotting back, limping to his second base position. You'd have to take Marco Albano out of the game on a stretcher to get him out of there. That's why Marco is so tough. That kid is tough as nails. Marco Albano is going to stay in the game. The ball landed just beyond the reach of Marco Albano into the Kernel right field bullpen, where Whipke and Marco hustled down there. It's 1-2 to John Mayberry. Here's the baseball fun fact. Ted Kluszewski hit 40 home runs in 1953 for the Reds. He struck out just 34 times. Strike 3 called on the outside corner to John Mayberry. Mayberry called out. He's nothing for 3, and that's the second strikeout of the night for Moose Mosebach. The next year, Ted Kluszewski for the Reds, 1954, hit 49 home runs. He struck out 35 times. And finally, in 1955, Ted Kluszewski hit 47 home runs and struck out just 40 times. Let me do some quick addition. That means Kluszewski hit 89 plus 47. In 3 seasons, he hit 136 home runs. And in those 3 seasons, 35 plus 34 is 69 plus 40 is 100. Ted Kluszewski, over the course of 3 seasons, hit 136 home runs and struck out only 109 times. You don't think the game has changed? Here's a fastball inside to Freddie Thon. It really used to be a badge of dishonor to let your team down by striking out. Not today, man. You go up and swing and swing and swing, and if you strike out, you almost earn a reward. Freddie Thon took a pitch just outside. It's 2-2, and I'm not saying this because the Kernels are struggling with a high number of strikeouts. I'm saying in general. Guys will say, well, look at the swing. He took at that one. Well, great. He took a swing at it. Did he put it in play? No, but did you see the swing? He took the air out of the stadium. He was going for the downs. Well, I say a big fat so what. Look what Ted Kluszewski did. Here's a pitch on a 2-2 count, tomahawked foul by Freddie Thon. And I'm not saying a guy should be ashamed of striking out. That's not my point with the baseball fun fact. I'm just saying that you really help your team a lot more when you make the opposition field a baseball than you do when you strike out. Here's a high drive into deep center by Freddie Thon, but Brad Kuhn has it measured. James, I insist on just you taking 4 quarters because that little fella, you can buy him not much with James. Thank you very much. It's all I have. Kuhn catches it to end the inning. A 1-2-3 inning for Kernel right-hander Moose Mosebach. Moose has pitched his heart out through 6 innings, and after 6 here at Alliant Energy Field, the Kernels well within reaching distance of their 5th win in a row. Clinton leads it 1-0. You're enjoying Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
We're here for your communication needs. Internet service, telephone, and Our members are owners who make a good team. Service second to none. South Slope Cooperative Communications.
Get ready for summer and beat high gas prices with a pre-owned vehicle from Randy Keel Honda. Their inventory is jam-packed with fuel-efficient vehicles designed to save you money. Get an economical sedan for your daily commute, or indulge your sporty side with a high-performance coupe. Randy Keel Honda carries a large selection of Honda certified pre-owned vehicles, backed by a 12-month, 12,000-mile comprehensive warranty and 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Need to haul the entire family? For a limited time, you can get special financing on Honda certified pre-owned Odysseys. Whatever your driving needs, Randy Keel Honda has the vehicle for you. Visit Randy Keel Honda on Centerpoint Road Northeast or online at randykeel.com. Randy Keel Honda, where they treat you right.
Leading off for the Kernels in the 7th inning, leading an inning off for the 3rd time, Flint Whipke. Flint's done his part to try to get Moose Mosebach a run or two, a double and a single. Flint owns both Kernel hits. Strike one on the outside corner from the southpaw, Zach Phillips. 1-0 Clinton. We're already in the top of the 7th inning. And Flint falls behind 0-2 as he fouls one away down the right side. Kernels riding a 4-game winning streak. The LumberKings trying to snap a 5-game losing skid. Outfield plays Flint straight away and slightly to hit the other way. There's strike 3 on the inside corner. First time Zach Phillips has gotten Flint Whipke. And that's the lefties' 7th strikeout. Brett Martinez showed a lot of gumption by staying in the game after he was hit by a pitch his first time up. This entire game changed in the 2nd inning. Thanks to Zach Phillips, he pitched out of a bases loaded, nobody out jam. And that gave him loads of confidence. Now a swing and a miss by Brett, strike 2. Zach Phillips changing speeds, working the pitches in, out, up, and down. He wastes one upstairs, ball 1. Clinton has a right-hander up in their bullpen, Josh Giles, but they may not have to go to him tonight. Phillips' pitch count is extraordinarily low. He's only allowed 5 base runners. Swing and a miss by Brett Martinez. 8 strikeouts for the lefty. And with 2 away, Stantrell Smith will bat. Stantrell reached on an error back in the 2nd inning by second baseman Jose Vallejo. 10 in a row retired by the Clinton lefty. Ball 1 low to Stantrell Smith. The way the Kernels have been playing recently, the 4-game winning streak, there's a ground ball past the mound, up the middle, diving stop by Matt Smith, but he wisely holds on to it. Stantrell Smith has the 3rd Kernel hit of this game, and he snaps a string of 10 straight that the southpaw had retired. Stantrell grounded it sharply up the middle. Matt Smith made a very fine play to dive to his left and prevent it from going into center field, but Matt then made a very wise choice in popping to his feet and holding on to it. And with 2 out, the Kernels have the tying run at first and the go-ahead run at the plate here in the top of the 7th, Tyler Johnson. Ball 1 low from Zach Phillips. Well, Phillips knows this. He's pitched 6 2/3 innings. He can win for the first time since opening night, April 8th. He still could lose this game. 1-0 Clinton in the bottom of the 7th. Johnson waits as Stantrell Smith draws the throw, and Stantrell's back safely. Smith may try to steal. Stantrell is 3 for 4 in stolen base attempts. Tyler Johnson steps out of the box. 2 gone, and Stantrell Smith at first with an infield single up the middle. Tyler Johnson, 0 for 2 so far tonight. Golfs one foul down the right field line. Freddie Thon with his back to the infield chases, but it falls beyond Freddie's reach into the Colonel right field bullpen. Strike 1 on Tyler Johnson. Eight strikeouts for this lefty, and he just had his string of 10 consecutive Kernels retired, snapped by Stantrell Smith. A throw to first. Stantrell was leaning and just got back safely. Big crowd here tonight at Alliant Energy Field enjoying the action. Meet me at the stadium tomorrow evening. A 7 o'clock start, a weekend series with the Burlington Bees. Smith is running, and Tyler Johnson rolls one toward the Colonel on deck circle where Marco Albano picks it up. One ball, 2 strikes to Tyler Johnson. Stantrell Smith was running on the last pitch. Now the 1-2 from the lefty who's working very deliberately. Stantrell running, swing and a miss, and Tyler Johnson down on strikes. That ends the Colonel's 7th inning. This big crowd on its feet for the traditional singing of Take Me Out to the Ball Game and the 7th inning stretch. Zach Phillips records his 9th strikeout of the game, and the Kernels, no runs in the 7th. 1 hit, our 3rd of the game. There were no Clinton errors. The Kernels leave 1 man on and have stranded 4. After 6.5, Clinton 1 and the Kernels nothing. You're listening to Colonel Baseball on the Colonel Radio Network.
The next time you catch yourself about ready to throw away a glass jar or glass bottle, stop. Glass jars and bottles are recyclable. Simply rinse out your glass, put the lids in your blue recycling box, and place the glass items in a plastic container. A plastic bucket or small plastic wastebasket will do just fine. Use 1 plastic container for clear glass and a second separate container for colored glass. Set your plastic container or containers with your glass in them next to your blue recycling box for curbside collection. Remember, glass is recyclable.
Hi, I'm Gary Dolphin. You know, Hometown Restyling has served Eastern Iowans since 1986, providing the very finest in windows, siding, and sunrooms. Their experienced staff can handle the job from start to finish, including plans, permits, and inspections. Plus, Hometown Restyling is nationally recognized by Professional Remodeler, Qualified Remodeler, and Remodeling magazines. Call Hometown Restyling for your next remodeling project, or better yet, visit one of our beautiful showrooms in Hiawatha or Coralville. Hometown Restyling, because there's no place like home.
Technology pervades every aspect of our daily lives. This remarkable age we live in has a machine or a computer to meet almost all of our needs. But you won't find a technological device that can provide you with the personal attention for something as important as insurance. Neighbor Insurance Services, your professional Pekin insurance agency in Hiawatha, is trained on all insurance matters, including how much coverage is enough coverage. For personal attention to all of your insurance needs, see the insurance professionals at Neighbor Insurance Services in Hiawatha.
Well, let's see if Moose Mosebach can keep the Kernels right on the tail of the LumberKings. 1-0 Clinton, bottom of the 7th inning. Casey Herron, the leadoff batter. And a slider just misses high from Moose Mosebach to KC. Well, Zach Phillips may be through for the night. I hope he isn't. I hope he gets a chance to go the distance. He's been just a joy to watch. shackling the Kernels in 7 innings on no runs, 3 hits, striking out 9. And Moose Mosebach has been equally effective. Casey Herron fouls the 1-0 pitch straight back, and now cues the next one behind home plate foul, strike 2. Moose gave up 1 run after Joe Kemp singled and Jose Vallejo singled back in the 3rd inning. True and Mel wrapped into the 3rd double play turned by the Kernels in the first 3 innings, and it produced a run. Here's a little Texas League looper. Marco Albano retreating into shallow right, makes the play. Marco broke back quickly, and Casey Herron's bid for a Texas League single was thwarted by the Colonel's second baseman, who caught that little looper about 5 feet out into the grass in shallow right. 1 away here in the 7th inning. Now, Moose Mosebach has really pitched well tonight. Hit a batter and walked a man in the first. Induced 3 double plays and has set down 5 straight LumberKings. Brian Valicka tied up the Knights on a swing and a miss on a slider. Now a ground ball to second. Marco Albano traps it in against his chest and throws in time to get Valicka. Marco Albano has now recorded his first, second. Okay, he has 1, 2, 3, 4 assists, plus he's helped turn 3 double plays. Marco Albano has 4 assists and has helped turn 3 double plays at second base. 2 gone here in the Clinton 7th. They lead it 1-0. A high drive into left center. On the run, Stantrell Smith. Stantrell sprints in and has it. Joe Kemp made a bid for a 2-out hit, but there was Stantrell Smith to come on like gangbusters and catch it in left field. And that's 7 in a row set down by Colonel right-hander Moose Mosebach. Boy, does he deserve at least a run to take him off the hook. He's pitched too well, very too well, to deserve anything close to a loss tonight. We go to the top of the 8th inning, and Clinton leads it 1-0. You're listening to Colonel Baseball on the Colonel Radio Network.
Step up to the plate this summer and nominate your favorite Cedar Rapids Colonel for the Rockwell Collins Fans Choice Award. Every time you catch a Colonel game, fill out a Fans Choice ballot to recognize the efforts of your favorite ball players. Then drop the ballot in the designated box at the souvenir stand. During the season's final homestand, Rockwell Collins will present the Fans Choice Trophy to the player with the most votes and make a donation to that player's favorite charity. Rockwell Collins and the Cedar Rapids Colonels, teammates working for a better community.
Service second to none. South Slope Cooperative. We're here for your communication needs. Internet service, telephone, and TV. As a cooperative telephone company, our members are owners who make us a team. Service second to none. South Slope Cooperative Communication.
You've worked hard, and you're finally your own boss. As a business owner, you may not want to hear the word liability, but it comes with the territory. Smart business owners protect their investments with a business owner's policy from Neighbor Insurance Services, your professional peak and insurance agency in Hiawatha. Neighbor Insurance Services can show you how to secure the right amount of protection for your business at affordable rates. Your business is important. See Neighbor Insurance Services in Hiawatha for business owners insurance.
Well, what an outstanding performance by 19-year-old southpaw Zach Phillips. The LumberKings lift him after 7 innings. He gave the Colonels no runs on 3 hits, fanned 9, walked 2, and hit a batter. And Josh Giles, who worked Monday afternoon in this series, 2 scoreless innings, striking out 3. Josh Giles, a right-hander, and he'll face Larry Infante. Larry has been forced to come up. Bobby Magallanes doesn't believe in pinch hitting, but Marco Albano was shaken up as he crashed into the clubhouse wall down the right field line. So Larry Infante will pinch hit for Marco Albano. Marco will face Larry Infante swings and misses at the first pitch from Josh Giles. Larry Infante will take over at second base in the bottom of the 8th inning. He pinch hits for Marco Albano, who was 0-for-2 tonight. Let's hope Marco's all right as he ran into a brick wall on the the outside of the Kernel clubhouse. Larry Infante facing Josh Giles, and he takes ball 1, 1-1. Swing and a miss by Larry, strike 2. Larry Infante at the plate, left-handed batter. Josh Giles working out of the Clinton bullpen for the 6th time this year. And he just misses low. Giles has been virtually he has been impossible to score off of. 10 shutout innings out of the Kernel bullpen, allowing 3 hits, striking out 12, walking 2. Larry Infante was tempted on a 2-2 pitch that glided outside. Let's see if the Kernels can be the first team to score a run against Josh Giles, who's been unscored upon in 10 innings. The payoff pitch to Larry. Swing and a miss. 1 gone here in the Kernel 8th inning. The batter is Brad Kuhn. Brad is struck out looking, flown out to left, and grounded to first. Well, the LumberKings are in a great position now to end their 5-game losing streak. They got 7 shutout innings from their 19-year-old lefty who hadn't won since opening night April 8th, and now they have a fellow on the hill that has not allowed a run in 10 innings out of their bullpen. Kuhn tries to bunt his way on and bunts foul behind home plate, strike 1. Halo happenings, results from around the Angel organization from last night. Former Kernel right-hander Stephen Schell beat Tacoma 12-2. Ball 1 outside from Giles. Former Colonel Mike Elward was 2 for 4, drove in 3 runs. Former Colonel Nick Gorneau had a pair of RBIs, went 2 for 3. Kuhn squares the butt and takes outside. Ball 2 to Brad. Stephen Schell was the winner at AAA Salt Lake last night. For AAA Salt Lake. Kuhn rips one into the right. It falls in front of the right fielder Joe Kemp, and Brad has just the 4th Kernel hit of this game. Brad Kuhn on a 2-1 pitch lined it, a sinking liner in front of the right fielder Kemp, and Brad Kuhn will likely try to add to his league-leading stolen base total of 17. Brad may try to steal second. He's the tying run at first here in the top of the 8th inning, and the Kernels trail 1-0. AA Arkansas was beaten soundly by Frisco last night, 11-6. Former Colonel Matt Brown belted a 2-run homer. Rafael Rodriguez allowed 7 runs in 7 innings, and he took the loss. Boy, AA Arkansas is really struggling. They've won 17 and lost 35. AAA Salt Lake is 30-21. Rancho Cucamonga dropped their 4th in a row in the California League, despite allowing just 2 hits to Lancaster. The Jethawks won 1-0. There goes Kuhn, a pitch out, the throw to second. Brad will be out by plenty. Brad Kuhn thrown out by Brian Velicka. The shortstop, Matt Smith, took the toss, and I mean Brad was a goner by about 8 feet at second base. So the LumberKings pitched out. Ball 1 to Heinley Station. It paid off. Brad Kuhn is the second out here in the Kernel 8th inning. It went catcher to shortstop. Now Heinley takes outside. Ball 2. Well, all the credit to the LumberKings tonight. They have looked like they really want to break out of their 5-game losing streak. There's ball 3 upstairs to Heinley Station. And don't blame Brad Kuhn. That's the right play to make. You try to steal that base when your offense is struggling like ours is. Josh Giles with a strike called. It's 3-1 to Stacia. Heinley is walked and grounded out to third twice. Ooh, a borderline pitch, and Heinley Stacia walks. 2 out, and Heinley aboard for Jordan Renz. 1-0 in favor of Clinton here in the top of the 8th inning. Colonel Submariner Kevin Lynch and Joe Torres pitched hitless innings of relief for the Quakes. Jose Arredondo struck out 11 Lancaster batters in 11 batters in 6 2/3, but Rancho lost 1-0, giving up just 2 hits. the Quakes record, 26 wins, 27 losses. Heinley Stacia leads away at first. Josh Giles is from New Mexico Junior College, signed as a non-drafted free agent by the Rangers. And the LumberKings have to be pleased with what Giles has done for them this year. A fastball inside, ball one to Jordan Renz. Heinley Stacia may try to steal second. Heinley is 7 for 14 in stolen base attempts. Kuhn caught for the 9th time in 26 attempts. Brad's head-first slide at second, and he was tagged out by Matt Smith on a pitch out from Josh Giles. One and 0 to Jordan Renz. There goes Heinley. A curve, a strike, the throw to second, and Stacia is safe at second. Heinley Stacia went in head first to throw a one-hopper by Brian Velica, and Jose Vallejo fumbled it. I don't think they'd have had Stacia anyway. Heinley steals it, and the pitch was taken for a strike by Jordan Renz. Now the Kernels have their first viable scoring chance since they loaded the bases with nobody out in the second inning and didn't score. 1-1 to Jordan Renz, the Colonel leading RBI man. Swing and a miss, strike two on a fastball. Jordan, 0-for-2 tonight. Batting with 2 gone here in the 8th and the tying run at second. A sweeping breaking pitch from Giles is outside, and now the deuces are wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. 8th inning, 1-0 Clinton, and Heinley Stacia the tying run at second. Giles' pitch, missed away, ball 3. Jordan Renz is one of those guys that can come out of nowhere and hit a ball hard. He's been struggling recently. The second baseman, Jose Vallejo, darts into the left of Stacia, and that prompts Josh Giles to step off the rubber. There's a base open. Giles is 3-2. A curve and a swing and a miss. Strike 3. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and that ends the Colonel 8th inning. In the 8th for the Colonels, no runs. 1 hit, a man caught stealing, a walk, a stolen base. There were no LumberKing errors, and the Colonels leave 1 of stranded 5. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. What a great pitching performance by Moose Mosebach. After 7.5, Clinton 1, the Colonels nothing. You're listening to Colonel Baseball on the Colonel Radio Network.
The summer heat can be so oppressive unless you can keep your cool. Who do you call when your cooling system fails? Call on the A-Team at Ahern Plumbing and Heating. The A-Team can inspect and ensure that your cooling system is good to go when you need it most. 24 hours a day, rely on the A-Team from Ahern Plumbing and Heating. Call 393-4872. 393-4872 for Ahern Plumbing and Heating.
Advanced Systems, the leader in office technology, is like a good baseball coach when it comes to office productivity. Advanced Systems makes the most of your team. They do it with the latest technology for office productivity from Canon. They're also like a great trainer. Advanced Systems Advanced Life Support makes sure your office equipment runs at peak levels and fixes it fast if things go wrong. Hit it over the fence with Canon technology from Advanced Systems. Call 832-8291.
This is for the 21st century with Advanced Systems.
Coffee works when it's important to you. Coffee works, let your work shine through. Quality coffee, speak to it for less. Don't settle for second best. Coffee works, computer center. Coffee works, we do it better when you think of coffee. Think of Coffee Works. Coffee works, coffee works.
Here we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Colonel road trip record, 5-2. 1-0 Clinton here in the bottom of the 8th. Moose Mosebach has not had his mate score a run for him in their last 17 at-bats. Boy, that's tough on a pitcher to go out and pitch that well and suffer from such a woeful lack of run support. But Moose isn't the first pitcher that's faced that dilemma. And all you can do, unfortunately, in the modern game is keep hitting. It should be you should be able to bat and help yourself. But you can only do that in the National League. Here's a foul off to the left, and it puts Jose Vallejo in the hole, 1-2. Yeah, you remember guys like Bob Gibson? Heck, if the Cardinals wouldn't score a run for him, he'd go up and bunt his way on or hit a home run. Moose Mosebach is helpless in that regard. The rules prohibit him from batting. Well, not technically. They could use him and forego the DH. A chopper to short. Heinle Stacia has it and throws low, but out at first base. Ooh, a bang-bang play, and the base umpire calls Vallejo out. I mean, that was close. Flint Whipke made an outstanding dig of that throw in the dirt by Heinle. We're back at home tomorrow evening. Gates open at 6. The game starts at 7. Pat McGrath Chevyland used car night. Strike one called on the outside corner to Truman Mel. There's a ground ball to first. It takes a charity hop into the glove of Flint Whipke, and Flint waves off Moose Mosebach, and there are 2 gone here in the 8th inning. Wow, Moose Mosebach is now retired 9 straight LumberKings. Man, has this kid pitched a great game. And that's all he has to keep thinking. You cannot have a say in things out of your control. There's a tap over the hill. Stacia will charge it in front of the bag and whip his throw to first and get Matt Smith. And that is 10 in a row retired by Moose Mosebach. The Colonel right-hander has spun 8 magnificent innings here tonight. Matt Smith chopped it over the head of Moose, and Heinle Stacia darted in from short and between the mound and second. Heinle on the run, gloved it and threw in one fell swoop and got Matt Smith, the left-handed batter, to end the 8th inning. Moose Mosebach has retired 10 straight LumberKings. He sets the side down in order for the 3rd time in a row. The Kernels come to bat in the top of the 9th inning, trailing Clinton 1-0. This is Colonel Baseball on the Colonel Radio Network.
Reading stimulates a child's imagination, increases their mastery of subject matter, improves their spelling and vocabulary, and opens up new worlds of discovery. That's why Toyota Financial Services, the Gazette, and the Kernels are teaming up to encourage elementary students throughout the community to read. Kernels players will visit 38 elementary schools this spring to talk with students about the benefits of reading. Girls and boys will then be rewarded with nifty prizes for achieving reading milestones. Toyota Financial Services, the Gazette, and the Kernels, proud to stand behind our community's youth through reading.
Next up, a musical taste of Dr. Pepper. It's a new spin on an old vibe from me to you. A tasty sip of Dr. Pepper for your ears, and it starts like this.
I'm a pepper, he's a pepper, she's a pepper, we're a pepper, wouldn't you like to be a pepper?
Now that's cool, but pepper is a little better. So let's slide in a taste of this.
I'm a pepper,
Right on. But there's still more to it. I mean, there's nothing like it, because every sip is a chicken mashup of 23 different flavors. So for the true taste of Dr. Pepper, we dial it up even more. You know it. With 23 flavors mixed into one full taste, every sip is a cool mix of music to your mouth. Dr. Pepper, there's more to it.
Jose Marte comes on to work the 9th inning. The Kernels trail 1-0. Have been out hit 6-4. Jose Marte pitched here Tuesday night in 2 innings, allowed no runs, no hits, struck out 3, and walked none. First up for the Kernels, Dallas Morris. Dallas, right-handed batter, and Marte's first pitch is a nasty pitch in the dirt, ball 1. Jose Marte has won 3, lost 2, has 2 saves for the LumberKings. A 3.90 earned run average for Jose Marte. Dallas looks at ball 2 outside. Now, Morris may be ordered to take this 2-0 pitch. Larry Infante took over at second in the bottom of the 8th inning for the Kernels after having to come on as a pinch hitter for Marco Albano in the 8th. Well, there's another example how radically the game has changed. Down 1-0. Dallas Morris was given the green light on the 2-0 pitch and fouled it straight back. Big gap in left center for Morris as Truman Mel is cheating way around into right center. That's where Dallas's strength is. The 2-1. A high pop foul behind the plate, and Marte pointed skyward to try to help catcher Brian Velicka, but there's just not much foul ball ground room here behind home plate at Alliant Energy Field. Well, this is one of those games that whether you come back and rally to send it into extra innings or whether you pull it out of the fire, however it turns out, you feel very lucky to see this type of pitching at this level of baseball. 1-0 LumberKings, 9th inning. And a line drive on one hop. John Whittleman dives, throws Dallas Morris out! What a play by John Whittleman! He took a sure base hit away from Dallas Morris. And credit Dallas for hustling. Dallas dove into first base headlong. And in a cloud of dust, John Whittleman threw Dallas Morris out. Oh, what a great defensive play at third. I said before the game, there's a misprint in these statistics. John Whittleman doesn't have 19 errors, and everyone said here, yes, he does, but not in this series. He has played like Brooks Robinson down there at the hot corner. Whittleman robbed Dallas Morris of a leadoff single here in the 9th inning. I said base hit because the ball was by Whittleman. He dove and stabbed it to his left, popped to his feet, and had enough on his throw to get Dallas, who went sliding in head first, ball 1 high to Flint Whipkey. Now a strike from Jose Marte. It just looks like it could be Clinton's night. And if it is, you really have to commend the Kernels for a fine road trip. If we can't rally tonight, it'll be a 5-3 road trip. There's strike 2 to Flint Whipkey. You just feel so disheartened, though, for Moose Mosebach. Man, that guy can't do much more than he did tonight to try to win a game. But you're never going to win a game if you do not score a run. That's one of the few certainties. Swing and a miss by Flint, 2 gone here in the 9th inning. And how about the Clinton pitching staff, ranked second to last in the league? They've struck out 13 Kernels tonight. 13 Kernels have struck out tonight. Well, here's the LumberKings trying to break a 5-game losing streak and hand the Kernels their first loss since Saturday night in Davenport. Brett Martinez at the plate. Strike 1 called on the outside corner. Jose Marte is trying to save it for Zach Phillips, who would be the winner for the first time since opening night, April 8th. The 0-1 to Brett Martinez. Low for a ball. Kernels only trail 1-0, but there are 2 out and nobody on here in the top of the 9th inning. Brett Martinez, nothing for 2 tonight. Lays off a fastball downstairs. Ball 2 to Brett. An outstanding defensive play at third by John Whittleman has turned this 9th inning around. All the Kernels have to do to look back in this game is look at the 2nd inning when they loaded the bases with nobody out, but Zach Phillips shut the door on any Kernel thoughts of scoring a run. Brett pops it in the air to right. This'll do it. Coming on in right is Joe Kemp, and the LumberKings, before this big crowd, have stopped the Kernel 4-game winning streak. A 1-0 victory for Clinton. Martinez flies to right. And the LumberKings celebrate as they take the series finale here. The Kernels end the road trip with a fine record of 5-3, shut out by three LumberKing pitchers here tonight. And 1-0 LumberKings. The game only took 2 hours and 7 minutes. We'll be back in a moment with the totals, highlights, and more on the Colonel Curtain Call here on the Kernel Radio Network.
Next up, a musical taste of Dr. Pepper. It's a new spin on an old vibe from me to you. A tasty sip of Dr. Pepper for your ears, and it starts like this.
I'm a pepper, he's a pepper, she's a pepper, we're a pepper, wouldn't you like to be a pepper?
Now that's cool, but pepper is a little better. So let's slide in a taste of this.
I'm a pepper,
Right on. But there's still more to it. I mean, there's nothing like it, because every sip is a chicken mashup of 23 different flavors. So for the true taste of Dr. Pepper, we dial it up even more.
I'm a pepper.
You know it. With 23 flavors mixed into one bold taste, every sip is a cool mix of music to your mouth. Woo! Dr. Pepper, there's more to it.
Your home is a place for savoring all the good things in life. It's a place for celebrations. It's a place where memories are created. To make sure your home is properly insured, visit Sheets Forest Draper in Marion, your professional Pekin insurance agency. Sheets Forest Draper will give you all important details about homeowners insurance with complete coverages and surprisingly affordable rates. Visit Sheets Forest Draper in Marion for homeowners insurance for your well-lived and well-loved home.
It's time for the Colonel's Curtain Call. Now, with a game recap, a complete look at the State Farm scoreboard, and a look ahead to upcoming action, let's rejoin the voice of the Colonel, John Rogers.
Welcome back to Clinton, where the Kernels complete a very successful road trip with a record of 5-3, dropping tonight's series finale in Clinton 1-0. The only run of the game was scored by the LumberKings in the third inning, and Joe Kemp led off with a single. The number 8 hitter, Jose Vallejo, singled to center, sending Kemp to third. And with runners at first and third and nobody out, Truman Mel, the leadoff batter, wrapped into a second base, shortstop, first base double play. The third turned in as many innings by the Kernels. And on that double play, Joe Kemp scored to make it 1-0 LumberKings. The Kernels had only 2 chances to score tonight, in essence, and the best one was in the bottom of the second. Flint Whipke, who had 2 of the Colonel 4 hits, doubled down the left field line. Brett Martinez, trying to bunt Whipke to third, was hit by a pitch by lefty Zach Phillips. Stantrell Smith, trying to bunt, reached on an error as Phillips got to Stantrell's bunt through to first. The second baseman, Jose Vallejo, missed the bag, and the Kernels were in business. Bases loaded, nobody out. Tyler Johnson wrapped one to third. John Whittleman threw home to force Flint Whipke. Bases loaded, 1 out. Marco Albano then struck out for the second out, and Brad Kuhn delivered the fly ball the Kernels wanted earlier in the inning to left, 1 out too late, and that, in essence, was the last real chance the Kernels had to score tonight. Zach Phillips wins his first game since opening night. The lefty struck out 9 in 7 innings, blanked the Kernels on 3 hits, walked 2, hit a batter. Josh Giles pitched a scoreless 8th, allowing 1 hit but striking out a pair, and then Dallas Morris's valiant attempt to reach leading off the 9th inning against Jose Marte was thwarted on a super play at third on a one-hopper to the left of John Whittleman. Whittleman leapt to his left, stabbed it, and then threw out Dallas, who went into first base head first, and Marte got the next 2 Kernels. The hero for the Kernels tonight was Moose Mosebach. Moose didn't get any run support at all in his 4-0 loss Saturday in Davenport. Tonight, a 1-0 loser, but just in record, not in performance. Moose was the winner tonight for the Kernels in performance. 8 innings pitched. He allowed 1 run on 6 hits, struck out 2, walked 1, and hit a batter. Here's the final line score. Clinton 1 run, 6 hits, 1 error. The LumberKings left 4. The Kernels no runs, 4 hits, no errors, and the Kernels left 5. The winning pitcher, Zach Phillips, is 2-3. The save to Jose Marte is 3rd, and the Colonel loser was Moose Mosebach, who's 3-4. The game only took 2 hours and 9 minutes. No attendance was given. 1-0 Lumber Kings. We'll be back in just a moment with our PRC play of the game here on the Kernel Radio Network.
Fairfax State Savings Bank is paying you to come to the ballpark every Wednesday this season. You heard right. Fairfax State Savings Bank is paying you to come to Veterans Memorial Stadium every Wednesday this season. The first 750 of you Kernel fans to enter the gates before Wednesday's home game will receive an envelope full of money inside from Fairfax State Savings Bank. Each of those 750 envelopes will contain a greenback up to a $100 bill. Fairfax State Savings Bank Free Money Wednesdays. Come early to line your pocket with cash.
There's a lot you can do to satisfy your taste for Italian. You can marry one. Do you, You can drive one. Or you can go to Zio Giano's and feast on Zio's homemade bread, pizzas, and pasta, authentically prepared in Zio Giano's famous Italian style. Zio Giano's for the hometown taste of Italy.
Come to Zio Giano's, the pasta makes you sing. Come to Zio Giano's for real Italiano. Come to Zio Giano's, the pasta makes.
Welcome back to Alliant Energy Field, where the Kernel 8-game road trip concludes in a 1-0 loss to the Clinton Lumber Kings. Moose Mosebach, the victim for his second straight start. Imagine going back in that dugout and knowing that in 18 innings your teammates have not been able to score a run for you, but that's the game of baseball. Moose pitched his heart out here tonight, deserved a win, but the Lumber Kings won it 1-0. PRC is now happy to present the PRC play of the game. PRC believes in rewarding employees by providing them with life essentials, benefits in other words. A job at PRC is a job you'll love. They offer a casual dress code, flexible schedule, medical, dental, vision, and pet insurance, and a 401k retirement savings plan. If you're looking for a career opportunity with a company with a great heart, contact PRC at www.prcnet.com. A pair of singles by Joe Kemp and Jose Vallejo in the bottom of the third inning had the Lumber Kings poised for a possible big inning. But Moose Mosebach had other thoughts. Truan Mel was at the plate, and Mel, with runners at first and third and nobody out, here's our PRC play of the game.
Tries to break out on top. Truan Mel, M-E-H-L, stands motionless at the plate, left-handed batter. Double play ball to second. Albano has it. Feed station for one. On to first. Double play. The Kernels turn their third double play in as many innings. Coming home to score Joe Kemp to give the Lumber Kings a 1-0 lead. But that is the third double play induced by Moose Mosebach.
Yes, it was the third double play induced by Moose Mosebach. We had no idea that double play that produced a runner home, Joe Kemp, in the third inning would be the only run scored tonight, but thanks to a 9-strikeout performance by lefty Zach Phillips, who wins for the first time since opening night, the Lumber Kings win it 1-0. That's our PRC play of the game. We'll be back with a look at the State Farm Major League scoreboard next here on the Kernel Curtain Call.
The hottest feature in beautiful Veterans Memorial Stadium is the coolest place. It's the Whirling Waters Home Run Hot Tub. How can you and your friends relax and splash it up from the most coveted spot at the ballpark? Simply register at Centerpoint in Westfield Mall and listen. If you're selected as the winner, you'll enjoy the ultimate entertainment experience. AquaJet Stream Comfort atop the left field wall in the Whirling Waters Home Run Hot Tub. Brought to you by Westfield Mall and Whirling Waters. Your chance to splash it up.
Get ready for summer and beat high gas prices with a pre-owned vehicle from Randy Keel Honda. Their inventory is jam-packed with fuel-efficient vehicles designed to save you money. Get an economical sedan for your daily commute, or indulge your sporty side with a high-performance coupe. Randy Keel Honda carries a large selection of Honda certified pre-owned vehicles, backed by a 12-month, 12,000-mile comprehensive warranty and 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Need to haul the entire family? For a limited time, you can get special financing on Honda certified pre-owned Odyssey. Whatever your driving needs, Randy Keel Honda has the vehicle for you. Visit Randy Keel Honda on Centerpoint Road Northeast or online at randykeel.com. Randy Keel Honda, where they treat you right.
It's time now from Alliant Energy Field after a Clinton 1-0 win that snaps the Kernel 4-game winning streak to check scores on the State Farm Major League scoreboard. Sponsored by State Farm Insurance agents Dale Thompson, Al Shetler, Brad Dunn, and Gary Shubat. Only 3 games in the National League, just 4 in the American League. This afternoon in the National League on the State Farm Major League scoreboard, the Pirates trimmed the Brewers 4-3 at PNC Park. The Diamondbacks are ahead of the Braves at Turner Field 2-0 in the bottom of the 8th inning. Philadelphia batting in the top of the 1st inning, no score at Chavez Ravine against the Dodgers. We have a final in the American League. A slugfest unfolded at Jacobs Field, and it was the Indians 12, the White Sox 8. In the top of the 9th inning at Comerica Park, the Yankees lead the Tigers 6-5. Oh, boy, I hate to see the Yankees go in there and possibly sweep Detroit, but they're on the verge. Hopefully the Tigers can hold the Yankees in the top of the 9th and then rally and win it to stay near the top or in the top position in the American League Central Division. They're in the top of the 5th inning at Camden Yards, and the Devil Rays lead the Orioles 5-4. And just underway in Oakland, no score, the Twins and A's with Oakland batting in the home half of the 1st inning. 1-0 Clinton tonight. Let's give you some programming reminders here on the Kernel Radio Network. Tomorrow evening, our first 7 o'clock start at home of the year, Pat McGrath Chevyland Used Car Night, and we'll have the gates open for you at 6. 3 of you Kernel fans, 18 years or older with a valid driver's license, will drive away with a new or a used car from Pat McGrath Chevyland. It will be new in your life, but it will be a used car on Pat McGrath Chevyland Used Car Night. Then we're on KMRY tomorrow. We are on KMRY tomorrow. Scott Unash will have the races here in the zone. Saturday at 7 o'clock, Alliant Energy sponsors fireworks. We'll be in the zone, KCRG 1600, 640, South Slope Communications Triple Play Showtime. And then we're in the zone Sunday afternoon for the 2 o'clock start with Bird Zerk and Perfect Game baseball cards and the fitness fair. And then Monday, Dollar Hot Dog Monday, we're also in the zone for the 4-game series against the Bees. Remember, tomorrow evening will be heard on 1450 KMRY. Tonight, in Clinton, the Kernels, who were hitting .270 against left-handed pitchers, were shut out by primarily southpaw Zach Phillips, who wins for the first time since April 8th, opening night. And the LumberKings snapped their 5-game losing skid and break the Kernel 4-game winning streak with a 1-0 win. We'll greet you tomorrow evening with the Ask the Manager show on the South Slope Communications Triple Play show at 6:40 tomorrow evening. So long from River City, USA. Once again, the final, Clinton 1, the Kernels 0. This has been Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.